fellow Crusaders, and welcome to our latest episode. It is the summer movie preview. My name is Sean Watskog. With me, as always, is Brian Michaels. And this is the episode where we will be going over all the movies that are coming out between May and the end of August. It's the summer. You know what that means. It's going to be the time when supposedly the biggest films of the year up until holiday season comes out, which is where you get your popcorn films and your big box office smash movies and all that kind of stuff. And we're here to talk about it all. This is like our fifth time. I don't know. We've done that. We've done a lot of this. But for anyone who has not been to one of these episodes before, listened to us before, basically we're going to go week by week talking about all the movies that are coming out, what our thoughts are. It might be a lengthy conversation on some movies. It might be, yeah, that comes out, and that's it. And then also at the end, we will be going over our 5 most anticipated films of the summer that we're the most excited to watch. And then we will be given our top 10 box office predictions on how we think the summer is going to shape out, on which movies will be making the most money. Brian always seems to win because I go with more of my heart than I do with my logical brain, and Brian does the opposite. So maybe this might be the year that I trump him. Probably won't be. But that's usually what we do here. So stick around and go on the journey with us through the summer, which I think in terms of money, this is going to be probably the biggest summer before COVID. Would you agree, disagree?
No, I agree. Because I mean, there's excuse me. It's very top loaded. I think there's 5-6 movies that are just going to make a shitload of money, and a whole lot of stuff that's going to perform okay. But the combination of especially those top bunch is going to be just piled.
I think, honestly, for me, I think it's like 8. I think the top 8 are all going to make well over 350 mil. And then everything else is going to be surprises or disappointments. I feel like this is now in terms of these movies, I'm looking at my top 8 list right now. There might be only a half of these that I actually care about, but that doesn't stop the fact that everyone else cares about these movies and they will go see these in theaters. But yeah, I was making my list. I'm like, this is actually hard. Finally, normally it's I think last year we were look, it's going to be between what was it, Jurassic World, Inside Out 2, Lilo. and what?
It was Lilo was up there.
Lilo, yeah, it was Lilo.
Yeah.
It was look, it's those 3 and then everybody else. And then Superman came up and said, "Hey, hello, I'm here," and kind of fucked with everything. We had was a couple years back where we completely undersold Top Gun Maverick, and it ended up blowing everything away. And then of course the year after that was Oppenheimer and Barbie. We didn't expect them to blow up the way they did. We just thought it was going to be this fad, and ended up becoming the biggest box office duo of the year. So
I feel like this year's a little bit more predictable. I mean, I can't be 100% certain on the order of it, but I think that the ones that are going to make a ton of money, I don't think there's any major surprises like Oppenheimer kind of thing heading to the wings.
No, I think because of Oppenheimer, we're more I think because of Oppenheimer and Top Gun Maverick, you and I have kind of opened our spectrum a little more on these movies, and there are still some that I'm probably underselling, and maybe some that I'm giving them a little too much. But I still feel like I still feel like in terms of the top 10, but mainly for me the top 8, those 8 movies alone are going to obliterate the last couple years, even few years of the summer movie box office. And then you still have Dune and Doomsday at the end of the year. In terms of profitability, this is going to probably be one of, if not the biggest profited year in movies probably since pre-COVID.
Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely going to be the best since
basically since Endgame. So yeah, 2019. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Before we go into the first week, how are you? Are you excited for this summer? I know sometimes you're but are you actually excited for the movies that are coming out this summer, or are you still kind of middle?
It's a bit of a mix. It's there. When I was making up my list, going through the calendar and getting ready for the show and find out pretty much everything that's coming out that I could find, there's a whole lot that I'm not interested in. There's a lot I am interested in. I think there's very few that have me super duper excited. I know we're going to talk about a top 5 most anticipated at the end. And for me, I felt like there's a few, I came up with maybe 3 really excited ones, maybe 4. and then a whole lot of stuff which like I'm really looking forward to, but I'm like it could go either way, so I'm withholding my enthusiasm. But overall, it's definitely good summer. Good summer.
Yeah, if I'm looking at the list here, there's at least, like I said, we did 5 anticipated. I had like probably 7 or 8, but I condensed it down to the 5. And then there's probably like another like 5 to 10 that I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to see that, but I'm not like over the moon over it. And then the rest is, oh yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'm not like losing my shit, but I'm excited to check it out. I do think in terms of the summer, it's like it's so top loaded with the big names that when you go and try to find the small stuff, there's maybe not a lot there, which is what really kind of is what makes the summer round out to be in a fantastic summer, is the movies that aren't at the forefront. And it's like those smaller ones or those comedies or stuff. Because I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and disclose this right now. In my top 10, I have one, I guess you can call it a horror movie. And normally we usually have like 1 or 2, maybe 3 horror movies in the top 10 because we think that the masses are going to go see it. But I mean, not to say there's not some good horror movies coming out. It's just that it's not as big of a focal point, I think, in the summer as others. I think a lot of this is kind of the sequels, which is usually where the bread and butter of the summer is the sequels. And I think pretty much of my top 10, everything except for 2 or 2 or 3 are sequel based or franchise based. So we'll see how the round of the summer goes. I mean, there's always like a surprise here or there that surprised me and Brian. I mean, case in point, Pizza Movie came out last month, and we're both still like super jazzed about that. I know there's one in June that I know is not going to be on many people's radar that Brian has already seen that I can't wait to see. But I didn't put it on my most anticipated because I don't know if it's going to be available where I'm at when it comes out. So I left it off my list. If I knew I was going to get it, it would be in my most anticipated, but it's not. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into May 1st, this upcoming week. There's one big movie and then probably a bunch of small movies around it. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. There's one that's going to win the box office easily.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead into that?
All right, we'll start with the big one. The big one coming out that kind of kicking off the summer. Kind of unusual to talk about a movie like this kicking off the summer, because it's usually like the latest, Marvel movie or a Fast and the Furious movie or whatever. But no, this is Devil Wears Prada 2. Devil Wears Prada, a movie that I enjoy. I don't love. I've maybe seen it twice in my life. But it has a huge audience among its more target audience. Like I said, I'm not the target audience, but I do enjoy it quite a bit. I think I know a lot of people that do. But this is one of those movies where I don't know if I ever would have thought they're going to make a sequel to this, especially as time went on longer and longer. I'm like, I think the ship has probably sailed on that. But, they came out with a trailer. All 3 of those people look exactly the same, by the way. All 4, actually. You count 2.
I was going to say all 4.
Like, nobody's aged a bit, it seems. And as far as the story in that, I honestly don't even remember a whole lot about the first one and the basic premise of it. So I'm not quite sure where exactly this was going to lead. But it's one that I think it looks good. I'll check it out. But I think it's going to be huge because that movie has only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. So I kind of not even know what I call it, cult classic, but just in the fact that it's kind of audience has grown and, more generations have grown up and watched it and really enjoyed it. So I think this one's going to be pretty big.
Yeah, it was Devil Wears Prada was always one of those that like I constantly heard about, but I never watched because why would I care about watching a movie about fashion design? Even though I love Anne Hathaway, I love Emily Blunt, I love
same for me.
Meryl Streep, I'm fine with. But yeah,
for me, it wasn't even like oh, that's a chick flick, because I watch a lot of chick flicks. But it's just like you, it's about the fashion. I don't care about fashion and the whole fashion world. That's what kept me from watching it for the longest time.
But yeah, I watched it finally for the first time. I think it was about a year or 2 ago, and it's good. Not to the point where I thought it was going to be a sequel, or even looking at it potentially being one of the biggest box office movies of the summer. And like you said, everyone there does not look like they aged. I will say someone who does look like they aged since the first film, and this is not even a knock because I think she's even more beautiful now than she was in the first film, is Emily Blunt. And I feel like they had to almost like dress her down to look. And I say dress her down, but she looks high class fashion. But it's like I feel like in the first movie she did too much with the eyeshadow, and she just didn't look as beautiful as she normally looks. So if she's aged for the better. Whereas everyone else, yes, Tucci still looks like Tucci, Anne Hathaway still looks like Anne Hathaway, and of course Meryl Streep just has looked the same age for like 20 years. I'm sure it's going to be good. I'm sure it's going to have some fun to it. Is this something that I'm going to go see in the theaters? Probably not. I will probably just wait until I can see it, on streaming. I mean, I definitely will check it out, but this is not something I'm going to see on May 1st personally. But it will be one of the biggest films of the summer. And if you had asked me 2 years ago, hey, Sean, do you think Devil Wears Prada 2 is going to come out in the summer and be one of the biggest movies of the summer? I'd be like, the fuck are you smoking? But here we are. Also coming out, Brian already saw this because it was a mystery movie. Was it Hokum?
Yeah.
You already saw this.
Screen Unseen at AMC, yeah.
Yes. Hokum comes out on May 1st. It's got Adam Scott, who I'm a fan of. I don't really know much about this, and I literally just watched the trailer for it yesterday, and I still really can't describe what it is. I know it has to do with maybe a witch or a demon, something like that. Let's just put it this way. It's a horror movie with Adam Scott. He's a writer, and he goes somewhere that's haunted or something like that. It's going to be jump scares. Whether you like that or not is going to be entirely up to you, but it is the first horror film of the summer. So obviously people are going to rush out to see it. If I really want to go see a movie on May 1st, this is probably the one I'm going to see. But I'm not like super amped up to go see it.
Yeah, like I said, I already saw this one. I was kind of disappointed by it, but I kind of knew going in it wasn't going to be my kind of thing. A lot of these kind of haunting movies don't really do it for me. But I mean, Adam Scott was good in it. It for a lot of it has a feel of kind of like a 1408 kind of feel to it, but just not quite as good. And then this,
I was gonna say, I love 1408. You just
but this one isn't as good, I think, in either the acting or especially in the plot as it moves on. But it's not a bad movie, so I think there's definitely an audience for it.
Gotcha. Another movie that you saw because you went to Chicago.
Beyond Chicago, yeah.
Beyond Chicago was One Spoon of Chocolate. Gets released in theaters finally, which is RZA's latest martial arts film. If you want to know Brian's thoughts on that, we literally our last video we discussed all the movies he saw Beyond Chicago and Pizza Movie, and you can check out the review there. So that's coming out. I don't know if I'm going to get that in my theaters or not, so it's one of those where I'll probably have to wait and see that when it gets available on digital.
I feel like it'll have a short theatrical run, so you might see that in a couple weeks.
Do you know Swapped? Swapped pops on Netflix. That looks like an animated family film where two animals swap bodies. I have not seen a trailer for it, which is
I haven't watched the trailer for it. It's a tiny woodland creature and a majestic bird suddenly swap bodies, forcing them to team up to survive the wildest adventure of their lives. So it's a body swap movie, but this time it's animated. Michael B. Jordan, Juno Temple, Tracy Morgan. I don't know much about this. Like I said, I didn't even watch the trailer because I have found almost all of those Netflix-made animated films to be pretty mediocre. I know there have been some exceptions. Like I know you love Sea Beast, which I still never watched. But
Ramona.
That's what I said, with a few exceptions.
K-pop. it's like, dude, our like movies of the years.
Well, certain ones jump out there, but I okay. Let me. The ones like this that are clear, like the typical like family talking animal type animated films they make. Those ones have not really impressed me much with the view I saw. So.
I don't know. Based with Michael B. Jordan, Juno Temple, and who did you say was the third person?
Tracy Morgan, Cedric the Entertainer.
Tracy Morgan doesn't really move the needle for me, but Michael B. Jordan, Juno Temple, I like them both. I guess I'll watch a trailer of it before it comes out. If it speaks, perfect.
The director on this one did Tangled, so at least it's got a decent animation director behind it.
I mean, I might check it out just to check it out. I mean, it's on Netflix, so it's not like I got to pay to see it, Right. But I only have 2 other movies that come out. Do you have anything else?
I have 2 as well. Yes.
Okay. Is it Deep Water? I don't know what Deep Water is.
Deep Water is Aaron Eckhart shark movie.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually going to see this one, I believe, tomorrow night. Actually, I would have probably already seen it by the time you guys watch this video, because I think that's this week's mystery movie. It's Deep Water. Basically, there's a plane that crashes into the ocean. and they're like, "Oh yay, we survived the crash." Oh shit, there's sharks here now. So it becomes that. Which we watched a movie very similar to that.
I was gonna say, didn't we have a movie this come out like a year or two ago where the plane like goes actually into the ocean and they're in like
it was underwater and they were under there, like sort of like an air bubble inside the cabin, but then there were sharks there. Yeah, I don't remember the name of that movie, but it was.
I can't remember what it's. I'm gonna look it up. You keep
going.
So
I hesitate to even call this like the big budget version of that. I mean, because this one is getting a theatrical release, but it absolutely feels like a VOD movie. But yeah, it's got Aaron Eckhart in it. Rennie Harlan is directing it. Who he was big in the '90s. You know, Die Hard 2, and he did Long Kiss Goodnight and some other stuff. But then he's had a long time before he's really done.
No Way Up.
Yeah. No Way Up was the other one. Yes.
Had Colm Meaney in it and Will Attenborough. They were kind of the two biggest names in it.
Yeah. So this one I have low expectations for because I think it's going to feel like a VOD kind of shark movie of which there is no shortage. But it has a real director behind it, even if he hasn't had a big hit in years. And I like Aaron Eckhart and Ben Kingsley's in it as well. So I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I've honestly seen trailers for this. I thought it was called something else. It's probably because I'm confusing it with Thrash on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this to me looks like a straight to digital, which is not a bad thing. But it looks straight to digital, but they're actually going to release this in theaters, which makes me wonder if they're just trying to cash grab for summer or if they actually kind of believe in this movie a little bit. So scratch that. If I'm going to see a movie this weekend because of my love for sharks, it's going to be Deepwater, not Hokum, or I might see both. But yeah, I love Thomas Jane. I love Thomas Jane. And I don't know where. Oh, sorry, it's Aaron Eckhart. My bad. They both look alike. I love Aaron Eckhart too, though. But speaking of both, they both were like here, and then they just went. And I was like, "What the fuck happened to both of you?" But yeah, no, this one looks interesting. I'm not expecting it to like. I will say this, and even though there's probably like 1,000 of them that I'm not even thinking of, the last 3 shark-related movies I've actually liked, which was No Way Up, which we just spoke about. Thrash on Netflix was actually pretty good, and Dangerous Animals with last year. Which I mean, I know the sharks weren't the main point of it, but they were pretty prominent in the film. Mm-hmm. So maybe we're finally kind of getting into a point where we're not just making stupid sci-fi shark movies and actually like giving, or did I hit an age where I'm finally just okay with all this shit? I don't know. Jurassic Park, I'm looking at you. Give us another dinosaur. We might actually be getting another dinosaur movie that's at Jurassic Park that could win me over. We're gonna be talking about that in a little bit. But yeah, Deepwater actually looks interesting. I'm actually kind of hopeful for it, but I'm super tempering my expectations. And the last one is a movie that I thought was coming out like 3 years ago.
It was.
It felt like this. I feel like this movie was supposed to have been out like right after COVID, and that's Animal Farm. And you said that's had a journey.
It's Animal Farm is a movie directed by Andy Serkis based on the George Orwell novel. And he was going to make this after he did his version of, I don't remember which one was his. There was Mowgli, and there was
Mowgli.
The other one. His was Mowgli. Yeah. He made that one, and then he was going to direct this next. It's an animated film, basically to take on this. And it's got a great voice cast. It's got Seth Rogen, Gaten Matarazzo, who we just saw in Pizza Movie and loved him. Woody Harrelson, Kieran Culkin, Glenn Close, Andy Serkis himself, Steve Buscemi. There's actually a bunch more names, but
isn't Tom Holland in it also?
He's not listed here. I don't think so.
I thought he was in it.
Jim Parsons, Kathleen Turner, Laverne Cox, and Iman Vellani.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so this is a movie that I believe has been done for years, or at least a version of it has been done. I don't know if they tinkered with it or what, because all I know is that when the trailer came out and I saw it, I'm like, this is not the movie I thought it was going to be. And I'm not sure it's the movie that Andy Serkis set out to make, because they've taken Animal Farm, which is kind of this dark novel. It's a social commentary, and they've turned it into your typical talking animal kids movie. Now, whether that's marketing that's making it look like that, and there'd be a whole lot of surprise families when they see the movie, or if it's actually just this is the movie they ended up making. Whether I don't know if a studio pushed him that way, or maybe Andy Serkis wanted to make a family film and just never really let people know that when he had been talking about making this movie, he made it sound like he was more getting into the the nitty gritty of the novel. So I don't know how this movie became the movie it is now, if that was the plan originally. All I know is that it's supposed to have come out like 2 years ago, and it got delayed. And so I wonder if things were switched up because they thought this would be more profitable or something.
Yeah, I love Andy Serkis. He's one of my favorite actors out there with mocap and everything. He's deserved at least 2 Oscars already that he has not gotten. Have not really loved his directing.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping this is okay, because then that'll give me some hope for The Hunt of Gollum, which is officially now going to be coming out. I remember reading Animal Farm in high school. I know what that movie is about. I don't remember the trailer though. I don't know if I just watched it and I just completely, in one ear out the other kind of thing, or what. But that's why I was so thrown when I saw the cast. I was like, oh shit, okay, let's see what this is. But if you're telling me that it looks more like a kiddie thing, that's not Animal Farm.
It's definitely, like I said, I don't know if it is strictly family, but it's definitely marketed as your typical family.
It leaves me intrigued to want to see it. Unlike Mowgli, which came out like right around the same time as like Jungle Book, and I think there was another Jungle Book movie that also came out around the same time. Which like by the time that came, I was like, dude, I just don't. I'm sorry, Andy, I just don't care. But yeah, I definitely am going to check this out at some point. I'm not expecting it to be that good though. I want to be wrong. I really do want to be wrong, but I'm not expecting high hopes on it.
I'm exactly the same to you across the board, yeah.
Going to our next week, May 8th, I've got 3 movies.
Well, let me, on May 7th, I just want to bring attention to a movie on Netflix called My Dearest Assassin. It is a Thai film. It looks like it's kind of martial arts action, but it's also got kind of a romance plot in there, or at least some kind of relationship in there. I don't know a whole lot about it. Just saw the trailer for it last night. But Thai action has not let me down so far when I watch their movies, things like The Raid and such. So, but well, I mean, that was technically Indonesia, but I meant the whole region. But it's just one to keep your eye on. So, but then there's the May 8th stuff, which I have. Well, I think I might have different ones than you. I have 6 releases. One of them is kind of small, and one of them is a Netflix thing. So,
well, I know we definitely at least have 2. So I'll let you kind of guide this one then, because the third one probably is in your list. I don't know what the other 2
are. There's a couple of stuff, because I've been putting pretty much everything on here, so we can at least mention it. The big one that weekend, well, the big one for us is Mortal Kombat 2.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat 2, because Mortal Kombat 1, I know that Sean and I both loved with no reservations or any problems with them at all whatsoever. Okay, maybe Sean did. I loved the last Mortal Kombat film. I think that they finally found the right tone. I think they portrayed the characters right. I think they finally, made it R-rated and let it be gory, of course. But I even liked the characters. I liked, while we didn't get like the tournament that we're looking for, it's like it looks like this movie we're finally getting into that. Plus, they're bringing in more characters like Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. So I think we're finally getting kind of the Mortal Kombat movie that everybody wanted. The question is if it's one of those things of be careful what you ask for, because it being so much of just a tournament and all the trailers are basically just look at this fight, look at this fight, look at this fight. It's like, is it going to feel like a fluid film, or is it going to look like a bunch of cool fight scenes? Which I'm okay with a bunch of cool fight scenes, but I'd like to have a great story around it. So that remains to be seen, but I'm excited about it. It looks like they downplayed the thing that we didn't love about the first one, which
maybe
is Cole
he gets
as the
Johnny
creative
Cage
fighter.
like he did in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to say it like that for people who know Mortal Kombat. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say much more than that when it comes to that. But yeah. Yeah.
But so having your main character be, Cole the creative fighter, as we called him, in the first movie, it looks like I don't know if he dies or if he's just a much smaller role in this. He certainly is barely in the marketing. Like if you blink, you won't even see him in the trailers. So they've downplayed that, which I didn't have as much as a problem as Sean with, but I definitely agree it was the weakest thing about the movie.
I have no problems with Cole Young as a character. I only had the problem with how they handled Goro in Mortal Kombat. That to me was the biggest problem. That would be no different, which I know people are already kind of jumping on this hate wagon, which they need to get the fuck off my boy. But they're already jumping on David Dastmalchian's M. Bison for Street Fighter, saying like, he's not threatening. Shut the fuck up. You don't know who David Dastmalchian is then.
I think he looks great for that role.
He's going to be amazing in that fucking role. But it would be like if Bison, who is considered the big bad in Street Fighter, went up to a character they just added on Street Fighter for a name, and the guy kicked his head off, and that was it. That's how they treated Goro in Mortal Kombat. And that was my biggest problem with it. And the fact that there was no tournament, but we also got that same treatment with Twisted Metal, and we love Twisted Metal, where the whole first season was setting up for the tournament, and then season 2 was the tournament. And that's exactly what we're getting here with Mortal Kombat. I liked everything else about it. It was just how they mishandled Goro. I wish Goro didn't die so we could have Goro in Mortal Kombat 2 for the tournament, because that would be fucking sweet. But I'm excited. I have reservations, and my reservations are Carl Urban's Johnny Cage. I love Carl Urban. I do. I love watching him every single week on The Boys. I love watching him in almost everything he's in. I don't really buy him as a Johnny Cage-esque character.
I buy him 100%. So
I'd buy him more of as a Raiden, personally. But oh, come on,
Carl Urban as a Raiden?
Oh, dude, I want to see Raiden light people up and call him cunts. But I don't buy him as Johnny Cage, because Carl Urban to me is not like a martial arts fighter. He's not. He's a bruiser. Like he I think he would fit more like Street Fighter than he fucking would in Mortal Kombat. But I digress, though. I'm happy he's in it, and I'm sure he's going to do great. The trailers I'm seeing, it looks like they're going to kind of, because it looks like Cole Young is not the main focal point of this film. It looks like Johnny Cage is the focal point of this film. And I don't want it to be the Johnny Cage show and then at the expense of all these characters that we were kind of building in the first movie. Because it literally kind of feels, like I said, watching the trailer, I don't know if Brian watched the trailer for the story trailer for this. It feels like they're kind of doing old 1995's Mortal Kombat, but Johnny Cage is Liu Kang, where he's the fish out of water being kind of forced into the tournament, and he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and everyone already is there, knows what the fuck's going on. That's kind of how this story's looking. I don't know if I want to see that movie. I'm going to see it. I'm going to try to stay excited for this, but that is how the story looks portrayed, and I don't know if that's the story that we should be getting after the events of the first film. But I'm excited to see Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I'm excited to see everyone come back. And I've warmed up to Cole Young because I've seen him act in other things since Mortal Kombat, aka Cobra Kai. He's amazing in it. I'm just pissed off about Goro. But yeah, I'm still excited to see Mortal Kombat 2 though, because it's still fucking Mortal Kombat. But yeah,
the other, I think, well, I think that's easily the biggest major release that week. There's 2 other kind of big theatrical releases, big-ish. Speaking of ish, Billie Eilish. Her concert movie, directed by James Cameron, full 3D. It's supposed to be a big spectacular thing.
I didn't even write this one down.
Well, yeah. Well, I think that the fans of this are going to love it. Yeah, so I just want to mention this. It'll make a little bit of money, and it's going to be cool. Just the fact that it's got James Cameron directing this 3D thing, I think it'll be interesting to see. There's that. There's also an Iron Maiden documentary movie coming out that day. I'm sure that will be very, very limited release, but I guess they want to counter programming for Billie Eilish. Also, this week to serve the family audience, The Sheep Detectives. I'm sorry, this looks charming as shit. Yeah, this was one that was originally on theater. It was called 3 Bags Full, A Sheep Detective Stories. I think it's a series of books, I think. But now it's just called The Sheep Detectives. It's got Hugh Jackman in it for at least a little bit. Yeah. Basically, you can see this in the trailer. He is murdered, I believe. And then the sheep are trying to solve the murder. These are, like Babe, the talking sheep. I don't think people can hear them. It's not like, they're actual talking sheep. No, it's not. They showed in the trailer that they cannot be heard by humans. Yeah. Unless one of them can. But it looks like the trailer looks like that they're trying to communicate with people without vocals. We hear them, right, but everyone else, they hear it bad and all that shit. Yeah, so it's not like fantastical talking animals, but it's like we're hearing them talk to each other. Like Babe was, yeah. So this one, I agree with Sean. I think it looks adorable. I don't know if I'm gonna love it. I'm not gonna rush out to see it, but I'll probably check it out at some point. It just looks cute. Yeah, I mean, if I'm going between what am I going to see that weekend, I'm seeing Mortal Kombat. Plus, it's my birthday week, so I'm definitely probably going to go see Mortal Kombat. And maybe I can go check out Sheep Detective. But yeah, Sheep Detective, he's the farmer. He reads murder mystery novels to all his flock every night, and so they kind of have like a
we can solve his murder because he trained us for this. And then it's just, it's a weird small town, kind of like Hot Fuzz, where it's all a bunch of like quirky, weird people that live in the town. And then you have these sheeps and goats and everything trying to solve a murder. It looks fun. If you have not seen the trailer, do it. I think it's got a good voice cast with it as well. It just looks like a fun time. I wish we would, I don't like that Hugh Jackman potentially getting, killed off in the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie because it's Hugh Jackman, but it does look like he kind of like shows up in and out like as like almost like an Obi-Wan throughout. At least it looks like that in the trailer anyway. So I mean, at least we still get him sprinkles of it throughout, but this looks like a fun movie.
Yeah, I hadn't even looked at the voice cast before today, and it's Emma Thompson, Nicholas Braun, Nicholas Galitzine, who is our He-Man, Molly Gordon, Julia Dreyfus, Chris O'Dowd, Patrick Stewart, Brett Goldstein, and wow, this is just a ton of people in this movie.
I know. I say it's a great cast.
If I have one thing that makes me hesitate about it, though, is the director, this Kyle Balda. His previous directing experience is Despicable Me and the Minions movies. So it's like,
but yes, but he has to follow a book. So it's not him going loosey-goosey like with those shitty films. He has to follow a book.
Yeah, but then did you see who wrote this movie?
No.
Craig Mazin. He of Last of Us and Chernobyl and stuff. So
yeah, but he also did some
Scary Movie 3 and 4, Hangover 2 and 3. Yeah.
Yes. So there's a to it. I only have one other movie personally for the week.
I have two. What's the one you have?
Couples Weekend.
Yeah, go ahead with that one.
Yeah, Couples Weekend. I just watched the trailer for this yesterday. It's got Josh Gad, Alexandra Daddario, David Diggs, and oh god, I'm blanking on the fourth one.
It's an Asian girl. I didn't recognize her myself.
Is it Ashley Park?
Is she the one in this one? I get these mixed up with a couple different movies.
Is it Ashley Park or Ashley Song?
It is Ashley Park. Yeah, Ashley Park.
It's Ashley Park. Which isn't she from Girls Trip?
Yes.
Or is it Girls Trip or Joyride?
I'm sorry, Joyride. Yes.
Joyride. So yeah, four people that I can take Josh Gad here and there. I feel like when Josh Gad doesn't go full Josh Gad, he's actually quite enjoyable. So it depends on what version of Josh Gad we're getting, and I like the other three. Basically, they're two couples that are friends. They all go to this like ski resort or like ski cabin, and they hang out. And then while two halves of the couple are out doing something, they come back and they see that the other two are sleeping together, and they're stuck at that cabin, and hilarious chaos ensues. Yeah, it just looks like one of those crazy like dark comedy insane movies. It's probably just gonna be a straight to digital kind of thing, but I'm here for it with that cast.
Yeah, this is a movie I heard about. It was either last year, maybe even the year before. It was like one of those movies that hit some of the festivals. It was actually at the time called A Tree Fell in the Woods. And so I had it on this, like I have this list on Letterboxd of movies coming out watching out for, so they don't slip under the radar. Never came out. And then I saw this movie come in. I'm like, wait, this cast sounds familiar. And I'm like, oh, they just retitled it. It's Couples Weekend now. But yeah, I think the cast is the biggest appeal of this because I like all four of those people. I actually really like Ashley Park. I was waiting to see more from her because I know she wasn't like the big breakout from Joyride, but for me, she was the one I enjoyed the most in that film. So I'm glad to see her as well. But this one looks like a lot of fun. Like you, I just watched the trailer for the first time last night because I was like, I didn't know the movie. Like I said, this movie I was waiting for was finally coming out, and then when I found out it was, I'm like, oh, there must be a trailer for it now. And it looks entertaining. And Josh Gad looks like while he's still comedic, he's not doing that, over the top, trying too hard. Josh Gad.
I feel like when Josh Gad is PG-13 R-rated Josh Gad and not PGG rated Josh Gad, he's a lot more fucking entertaining. When he's not being Olaf and he's being just Josh Gad, I feel like
when he's doing Wonder Man, Josh Gad is good.
Yes, I feel like yes, Wonder Man Josh Gad was actually fun. I don't have. You said you have one more, right?
Well, one more. Just this is a Netflix movie coming out on May 8th. Remarkably Bright Creatures.
I did not. Yeah. Okay. That is not on my list. Yes, it is. I totally looked over it because.
Have you watched the trailer? Is there a trailer? I don't even know.
Yes, there is a trailer.
Okay, then I'll let you describe it because I have not seen the trailer for it.
Oh God, it was a while since I've seen it. I'm trying to write it down.
I'll read this brief synopsis here. A lonely elderly woman named Tova forms an unlikely friendship with a curmudgeonly cephalopod octopus named Marcellus, but unbeknownst to her, Marcellus is on a mission to solve a mystery that will heal the widow's heart and lead her to a life-changing discovery. So there's an elderly woman and an octopus who's on a mission. I don't understand that, but it's got Sally Field, is it? Lewis Pullman, who we both love, Alfred Molina, Cole Meany. So it's a movie that I don't really know what it's about, but based on the cast, I'll at least check it out.
From what I can remember, and I could be completely off base about it, is Sally Field is like the janitor cleaner lady at this aquarium, and she's befriended this octopus, which once again, it's one of those kind of like with Sheep Detective. She's talking to the octopus is talking back to her, but she doesn't understand what obviously the octopus is saying.
Oh, but we're hearing the octopus talk?
Yeah, the octopus is Alfred Molina. Alfred Molina is the octopus.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
He's kind of doing almost, at least in the trailer, it sounds like he's more like narrating like what's going on. And they kind of, at least with Sally Field, like her best friend is this octopus. But it does not look like that they can hear, well, he can hear her, she can't hear him. And then Lewis Pullman is like this guy who's just gone through it, and he's like the new hire. And then he develops this like relationship. It does not look physical, so it's not like that last Sally Field movie where she almost got nominated, where it was like, what was that last movie she almost got nominated for? A couple years back. Blanking on it.
I don't recall.
It wasn't that one going into a relationship with a younger man?
Trying to recall.
I never saw the movie. I was going to because it was Sally Field who was going to get nominated for it, but I don't think she did.
Spoiler alert? Is that?
No, it's not spoiler alert.
Her last few movies were 80 for Brady. Spoiler alert. Something called Love Letters with Bryan Cranston.
Sorry, we completely stopped the show for this.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know what movie you're talking about.
It's fine. I'm gonna figure it out. But basically,
Hello, my name is Doris. That's back in 2015.
Yes. Hello, my name is Doris. But yeah, she befriends Lewis Pullman, and I think Sally Field like lost a kid or a husband or something like that. So she's in mourning, and that's why she kind of confides in this octopus. Lewis Pullman has lost somebody, or he's just gone through a lot of shit, and they kind of basically become friends, and they both kind of are there for each other and help each other, like, you know, get better and stuff. And the octopus is there. It looks like a very heartfelt, warming kind of Netflix film. And of course, with those three, even though Molina is an octopus in it, it looked really charming in what I saw of the trailer. I honestly saw the I didn't remember the title of the film. But yeah, I'm actually excited for that one. I remember watching that going, that actually could be really, really good.
Yeah, so that's all we have for May 8th. May 13th, just worth
Hold
a
up,
quick
I got one.
Oh, yeah, one more.
No, not for May 8th. May 12th, since it is technically a movie, it's not a show. Marvel's The Punisher, One Last Kill.
Oh, yeah.
Comes out March 12th. I know they don't have it on the movie releases, but it is technically a movie because it's one of those like one shots things.
Is it feature length though, or is it like an hour thing?
It might be like an hour 20. I don't know the length of it, but it comes out May 12th. And it's basically kind of where Punisher's been since Daredevil season 1, and then he's going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, so it's going to kind of be like an in-between kind of thing. John Bernthal has really found his way as the Punisher in MCU. I love him in this. I love him in everything, but I love his version of Frank Castle. And anytime I can get more of John Bernthal as Frank Castle, I'm 100% there for it. I'm excited that he's going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, this is a one shot. They didn't want to do a whole nother season of Punisher, which he's got 2 seasons, which were great, by the way. So they're just doing like a one shot, like it's probably like an 80-minute episode or whatever. But yeah, that comes out May 12th.
Yeah, and then May 13th, they don't even talk about these, just a heads up, people. Top Gun, both the first one and Top Gun Maverick, are being re-released to IMAX theaters. So you get to see those back in the theater again if you have an IMAX near you.
They honestly should just wait and do that right before Top Gun Maverick 2 comes out.
I'm sure they'll probably do it again.
They probably will.
But I think because this year is the 20th anniversary. I'm sorry, 20th. Haha, that's funny. The 40th anniversary of the original Top Gun is this year. So that's why I do that. But they're doing both movies, and they're being released, I believe, the same day. They just have like alternating show times, I think is what they're doing. And then that's just want to give people a heads up on that. And May 15th, I have 3 movies.
I've got 2.
Okay. Go ahead with whatever you got.
I've got In the Gray.
Yes.
which is our one movie that we didn't think was going to come out this year when we were talking about most anticipated. And then all of a sudden, not only was it coming out, we had a trailer, we got a poster, a release date all in like 3 weeks. Because that's how it goes here.
That's Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah.
Ritchie movies, he makes these movies and they're supposed to come out and they get delayed and they get pulled off the schedule completely. And then when it's like coming out next week, like what the fuck?
I literally remember during most anticipated beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to talk about this. It's probably not coming out this year, so you don't have to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
And sure enough, here it is. It's not the movie I thought it was going to be when I saw the trailer, but I'm also still here for it because I am really excited to see how Jake Gyllenhaal, Henry Cavill, and Isaac Gonzalez does in kind of a comedy-esque action film, because they basically kind of look like cleaners. They're coming in to clean, fix shit and clean shit up. And I already like the humor that I'm seeing out of the trailer that we got, especially between Gyllenhaal and Henry. And what, like I said, reading the synopsis, which is all we had up to that point, it didn't look like this movie, but I'm also still very excited to see what this does. Because, like I said, Guy Ritchie was a director that I never really liked, but over the span of the last couple years, he's, for the most part, won me over. So I don't look at him going, Guy Ritchie. More it's like, oh, okay, cool, Guy Ritchie. And I did finally watch The Gentleman. Finally. I did.
And briefly, yes.
I actually really liked it.
Yeah, see?
I liked the story aspect of it. I liked the characters. I thought Hugh Grant and Charlie Hunnam and Matthew McConaughey were fantastic. Colin Farrell was great in it. It makes me want to watch the show. I don't know how good the show is. I know it's not.
I didn't get through the whole thing. I only watched part of it so far, and I kind of forgot about it and fell to the wayside. But I actually liked it more than I thought I would. So
yeah, so I think the second season is coming shortly. So, but yeah, that was one of those movies that Brian has been like forever trying to go, you should watch The Gentleman, And I was like, yeah. And I did finally watch it like a couple weeks back. But yeah, what did you want to say?
So In the Gray, it's like you said, it's basically the three leads kind of are the real appeal of this for both of us. And it got put on the calendar several times and then pulled from the calendar and release date changes. They're finally coming out of it now. I still am not sure I even understand what the movie's about from the trailer, but the three leads enough to make you watch it. But the problem is, that's happened before with movies. I mean, he did his last movie was Fountain of Youth. Although that was direct to, was it Apple? Amazon?
That was Apple,
yeah. That one
soulless.
Not so good. But then the last time I've been and it's In the Gray, that's just the three leads and kind of the chemistry between them. It also gives me Red Notice vibes, which is not necessarily a good thing. So it's like I'm still hopeful for this based on the leads, but I'm not getting super excited until I actually see.
The only other movie I've got, I think I know what your third movie is. I just didn't write it down because I don't have any care for it. But it's another horror film called Obsession.
Yes.
It looks like it's one of those where it's like be careful what you wish for kind of movies, where a guy gets to have a wish and he basically wishes for the girl that he's in love with to only love him. And obviously we all know, we've seen many shows and movies when we see what happens when that wish happens. And that's kind of the plot from what I know is guy wishes hot chick will love him and it doesn't go the way he thinks it's going to go.
Yeah,
but
because
there's been
all wish movies never end well. It's all, it turns out to be, she's completely obsessed with him. She's so in love with him. She's
so in love with him that she'll murder anyone that gets close to him and shit like that.
So, and other than that, I know nothing about this movie. It actually played at the Beyond Chicago, but it was a movie that I couldn't see because it was conflicting showtimes with a different one that I did see. So I don't know a whole lot about it, except that it's been getting really good reviews.
That's what I'm saying. I've been hearing some very, very strong buzz about this being pretty good. So it's definitely something that I'll probably check out I don't know if I'll see it opening weekend, but it's definitely something that I will check out eventually. Just because like there's just so many things that are coming out, and I'll also be in the process of getting ready to move around this time. So there's a lot of mid-May to second week of June. There's some movies that are probably going to fall off for me because I'm going to be busy doing other things. So that also will be reason. Hey, why haven't I seen Sean and Brian in a while? Well, it's because Sean's out of commission. Of course, at the worst fucking time. But yeah, is the third movie As God Is?
As God Is, yeah. Which again is another movie I don't know a whole lot about. It might be good. It might it's been getting a big promotion lately. But it's got Sterling K. Brown in it and Janelle Monáe, and so it's another one that might be interesting, but I might wait to see some reviews before I decide whether or not to watch that one. But just want to mention it is on the calendar for that day.
That's all I've got for the 15th.
That's all I have 15th. Next thing I have is May 20th. On Amazon, Jack Ryan Ghost War. They're making a movie of this is the I just blanked out his name. John. Who's Jack Ryan? What? Krasinski. Thank you. For some reason, I just dropped out of my mind. This is basically they're making a movie instead of another season of the show. I only ever watched, I think, the first season of the show. It wasn't bad. Yeah. I just never got around to watching the subsequent seasons.
I think this is like the second movie they've done. I think they've done more. Yeah, I think they've done already. They either did like 3 or 4 seasons, and I think this is like this might be the first movie or it's the second movie. I'm with you. I only watched the first season of it, and it wasn't because it was bad. It's actually pretty good. It was just one of those that like whenever it came on, I just never really like rushed to go see it. It's just always one of those things where it's like, oh, I'll catch up on it eventually, and it's like, oh, now there's a movie, and it's like, well, probably not gonna watch it then because I'm not caught up on it.
I like the rest of the seasons and the movies. I will probably watch them eventually, just not in a row.
Yeah, it's just not something that I'm going to rush to check out. In a non-movie aspect, May 16th, we get Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano, and I hope to God Gina Carano beats the ever-living shit out of Ronda Rousey. That's just a side thing from Sean over here. Also, did you hear that she's now finally in talks with Disney to get back into Star Wars? I liked her character in it.
I liked her character, but her ever since that, I've really kind of turned on her since then.
We had a whole TV series get canceled because of this shit. So yeah. It's like, I'd be happy to see her come back. I don't care about what she says politically and all that shit, but I actually like Gina Carano. I know she's not a great actress. Like, first thing I ever saw her in was American Gladiators, and then I watched her in MMA, and then she was in Star Wars. So I hope she beats the shit out of Ronda. But anyway, going to May 22nd now. I've got 4. No, sorry. I've got 3. One's a TV show.
I have 4 theatrical and a Netflix movie.
All right. Well, the biggest movie coming out there is obviously, speaking of Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. We all know how Brian feels about The Mandalorian, especially Grogu. He hates Grogu. He wants Grogu to die in a fiery pit of hell. I don't feel that way. I love Grogu. Grogu's cool. And I love the Mandalorian series. And this is effectively the season or the series finale. They have not really said if they're going to continue with the show after this, or if these characters are going to pop up in the other shows. So this effectively could be the final story of Mando and Grogu. The trailers haven't wowed me, but I don't need to be wowed for Star Wars. I just need it to be Star Wars, and I'm going to check it out. So I'm excited for this. Like I said, I love The Mandalorian, and I like Grogu. So I'm going to be there night 1 or afternoon 1 and check this out. And I'm going to be amped and excited for it because I love Star Wars. I am not a Star Wars hater. I am one who will defend Star Wars pretty much the entire time. I know they have shitty things that they do. I don't agree that the sequels are that great. I love The Force Awakens, and the other 2 are kind of there, but I love the shows. Darth Maul show on right now has been great. I love watching all the animated stuff, so I'm excited for Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't think they need to hire or cast Jeremy Allen White to be a Hutt, because it's not going to sound like Jeremy Allen White, so it's kind of a waste of casting for that. But either way, I'm going to be there night 1 for Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, for me, it's like I just feel like, I mean, the show kind of it became so focused around Grogu. And then, of course, in this movie, my biggest problem with it is all the marketing looks just like it's aimed straight at like little kids. It's like all the little cutesy things that Grogu does, which there are always moments of that. But at least in the way they're marketing this, it looks like this is just a kid's movie. Now, and then people argue, well, George Lucas always said Star Wars is for kids. It was definitely something kids could enjoy, but it was not made as like kiddie films. This one, a lot of it just feels like a kiddie film, at least, like I said, in the marketing. I'm going to check it out. I want to like it. Like you, I don't understand why they bothered casting some voices and some creatures that you're not even going to know it's them if you didn't. But I want to like it. It's directed by Jon Favreau, who is a good director. So I have hope for it. But I'm just not excited about it. And I think it's probably going to be the lowest grossing Star Wars movie ever. And that includes
No, it won't.
Oh, not counting Clone Wars, live action movie.
I was like, doesn't no.
Live action. So yeah, and I do think this is the end of Mandalorian Grogu. Not that you might not see some of the characters carry over to other things, but I don't think there will be another Mandalorian or Grogu show or movie or anything.
I feel like it. I can't remember how well it did. I feel like it'll pass Solo. I think it'll do better than Solo.
You know what? It's a tough one to say because I would almost agree with you just because if this is geared more towards a family audience, that might actually help it. Because then when kids would go see it,
well,
there's so much other big kids movies coming out that I don't know. So we'll see.
It's got 3 seasons of Mandalorian and a season of Boba Fett to build on for everyone to watch at home. So I would think that people would come out in droves more to check this out than they did for Solo.
I think more people are like, why would I go see that in the theaters? Mandalorian Grogu, that's a TV thing. So it's like, why would you see a movie when
because
I watch
they're trying to tell them it's the final ride.
Yeah,
and people will come see it. And
we'll see
people want to see
box
Grogu.
office.
Plus, at this point, there is no kids movie that's out in theaters right now. So if it is directed more towards kids, this is the first kids movie of the summer, if you want to go with that mindset.
You don't think Animal Farm still be making hundreds of millions of dollars?
In 3 weeks? No, it won't probably be in theaters in 3 weeks. So yeah, I mean, the only other thing is Sheep Detective, which at that point it'll be 2 weeks removed. So yeah, no, it's on to the newest, biggest thing. And then it's got
almost a month.
At least, almost a month until the next big kids one, if you don't count Masters of the Universe.
Yeah,
so it's got plenty of time to build its box office.
We'll see.
But, see, other movies come out on the 22nd. There's a horror movie called Passenger. I just watched the trailer for it yesterday. I mean, it's got the creepy vibe. Don't really know much about it because the trailer's not really giving much away, which I'm not mad at when it comes to horror movies.
Yeah, no, the trailer, at least assuming you say the same one I did, was basically just a clip of the movie. And it definitely it gave some creepy ass vibes, and so it looks intriguing. But I don't know anything about it.
It's enough to pique my interest. So that's all we're going to really say about that. There's another one I don't know anything about. It's called I Love Boosters.
This is a movie from Boots Riley, who made Sorry to Bother You.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to have that same kind of wacky off the wall vibe to it. This is another one that has a great cast put together. Keke Palmer is the lead of it. I forgot to bring that one up. Hang on a second. It's got a bunch of people in it, but I don't want to leave anybody out. But it's basically about a shoplifting. I know Demi Moore plays like this fashion maven, and there's basically the shoplifting group who's just like steals stuff and like sells it on
the list.
Black market. Go ahead with the cast. Yeah.
Lakeith Stanfield, Naoma Aki, Demi Moore, Don Cheadle, Isaac Gonzalez, Will Poulter, Taylor Page. That's it. Without
it goes on and on. Adam Devine, Jason Ritter, Eric Andre. Yeah, tons of people. But it's basically it's shoplifting ring, kind of how they're fighting back against Demi Moore being this fashion maven. And I don't know a whole lot more about the plot. It's definitely going to be kind of a bonkers movie. If you saw Sorry to Bother You, you'll know the kind of vibe it's going for. The trailer I thought looked fun. The only thing that bothers me is that in Sorry to Bother You, they went a little too far in some directions with like half horse people and shit. So if this one can keep things in the real world, but still have that kind of the sense of humor that had and the tone of it, I think this has potential to be a lot of fun, especially in some of the scenes with like Will Poulter and some of these people that we love seeing pop up in movies. So this is one that's definitely on my radar.
Yeah. Other than that, I've just got a TV show on Netflix. I don't have anything movie-wise.
There's Corporate Retreat, which is another horror film. This one, basically, the people from this company, a lot of like these young, like I don't know if they're interns or young workers, are taking off this corporate retreat. Supposedly, Alan Ruck, I believe, is the leader of this company, and turns out, I believe they're being hunted at that point. So I don't. This is another one of those movies that it's going to be a smaller film. I don't even know if this will be in theaters more than a week, but I'll at least check this one out. And then on Netflix, there's a movie called Ladies First with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Actually, I just watched this trailer yesterday.
Yeah, why don't you?
Yes, there. I did have it written down. It was just on the other page. This.
So as I understand, it's basically like things have been reversed. Like men are treated like women, and vice versa. He hits his head and wakes up in this world where gender swap basically in terms of power dynamics and things.
It's not even just like gender, or it's like, women know how to like change tires and like
that's what I'm saying. Like everything, like man, is
everything
trivial.
is swapped.
The world's a matriarchy. They're when they can't call it him, he's walking on past a construction site.
Yeah, it looked funny. Sacha Baron Cohen, I'm always kind of like, but this one
exactly. Well, the thing is, Sacha Baron Cohen, I think when he's just doing like some comedy, I think he can be very funny. When he creates a character, whether it be in his like Borat kind of shit, or when he did what did he just popped up in
he was just in Balls Up.
In Balls Up, when he's doing this stupid character, I don't find him funny at all when he does that kind of stuff. But he is a good comedic actor when he's just playing a regular part in a movie. And this one looks amusing. When I first saw it, it kind of looked like isn't it romantic? Rebel Wilson like bumps her head and she wakes up in a romantic comedy. This kind of the same thing, like he hits his head and wakes up in this new world, which I'm not saying it's going to be.
That it was going to be a What Women Want remake, where he bumps his head and then he can hear women's thoughts.
Yeah, but no, it's a fun concept, so we'll see if it works out.
You know who I almost kind of would have preferred was in this role instead of Sacha Baron Cohen is Brett Goldstein. I actually would have loved to have seen him do this. This is nothing against Sacha Baron Cohen. I'm watching how he is being in this. I'm like, this is kind of like Brett Goldstein's character.
Yeah.
I feel like he would have been like the perfect one, but obviously he's not as big of a name. Well, I'd say he's probably on evil footing now with Sacha Baron Cohen, but it looks fun. Rosamund Pike is like the other big name in this, and I like her. She doesn't do enough anymore, but it looks like she's at least gonna have fun in this. So I'm excited to see what she does with this. But yeah, that's the last movie I've got. You got anything else for the 22nd?
Nope.
Okay. 29th, I've got 2.
I have 4 actually, but I don't really have any big films though. It's like 4 smaller films.
Yeah.
I have Pressure, which is basically the movie about D-Day, but it's focusing on the weather predictions and these things and how that affected the whole, apparently based on a true story, but how it affected the plans and almost threw things into chaos. Brendan Fraser's in that one. I have Tuner, which is another kind of one that's been hitting the festival circuit. I believe it stars Dustin Hoffman. We get a lot of great reviews on that. It's about a piano tuner, but it sounds boring. About a piano tuner.
Oh, okay.
But it's apparently a lot more going on in that movie. Back Rooms, another horror movie which I don't know much about except the trailers.
It's based on a video game.
Oh, it is based on a game.
It's based on a game, much like Mortuary's Assistant. It's one of those like computer games where it feels very like it's like the footage of the gameplay is like they pretty much shot it like with a camera kind of thing, and it's like guy finds a hidden back room in his job, and it's just an endless maze of rooms and stuff. Some rooms are just plain yellow walls, nothing on it, and then some have a creature or a monster in there, and it's them trying to once they go back there, they lose all concept of time, days, and they don't know if what room they're going back into is going to be the where they came from. So, but it's got Chiwetel Ejiofor, who's someone we both like. It's intriguing. I have never played the game, but I have watched like Jacksepticeye play it. It's intriguing. It's not a game. To me, it's a very boring game with some fun elements. So it'll be interesting to see how they make it interesting for a movie. But I'm intrigued by it. A lot of people are excited for this because they played that game. But yeah. And
then the only other movie I have is The Breadwinner,
which I thought was supposed to come out like months ago.
I don't remember if this one moved or not, but it's basically like Mr. Mom, but with Nate Bargatze. It's what the movie is. Which Nate Bargatze, when I first saw his first couple stand-up specials, I thought he was pretty damn funny. His last couple, I chuckled a little bit at him. I don't know if it's just he's doing the same thing or if they're actual weaker acts. I don't know. This movie, it's not really jumping out of me. Like I said, it's just your typical Mr. Mom type movie.
I like Mandy Moore.
It'll probably have some amusing parts to it, but I'm not excited about it.
Yeah, I like Mandy Moore. I don't really care for Nate. Every time I watch him, I'm just like, I don't get you. Like, I get you, but I don't like care to like get you kind of thing. I'm sure he's going to, a lot of people are excited to see him in the movie and want to check him out. I'm not one of them. So this is probably something I'll check it out at some point, but it's not something I'm excited for. I do go back a couple days. May 26th, I just saw a trailer for this yesterday. A horror movie called My Best Friend's Dead. No real names in it. But basically, it's these two best friends, and they had made a pact that if one of them died, that they would bring them back to life. And of course, one dies, and they do that. And of course, a lot like we've seen it many times, the person who was brought back to life does not come back the same way that they were. And so it's her basically trying to keep her best friend safe, but her best friend is basically a monster at this point. Trailer was intriguing. I'm not expecting to be like blown away by this movie. It probably is not going to be that great, but enough for me to write it down going, I want to check that out. And then of course, May 27th, it's a show, but Spider Noir on Prime comes out for the MCU Spider-Man people who know Spider Noir from Into the Spider-Verse, was voiced by Nick Cage. Nick Cage will be doing the live action version of this. I just watched the trailer that was from CinemaCon. It looks fun. It looks really, really fun. I am excited for this. Brian is refusing to watch it because he doesn't want to be spoiled on it. But I like the cast. I like the like almost adult Daredevil-ish version of Spider-Man with a PI thing. It works for me, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think I am too. The only thing that makes me chuckle is the idea of, Nicolas Cage starred in this. I'm like, Nicolas Cage stars in this like Pedro Pascal stars in The Mandalorian. He does the voice for it, and then he does a few scenes when the mask isn't on.
Hold on. At least from the trailer aspect, it looks like there's barely any Spider-Man. It's looking like a lot like is Nicolas Cage just doing a PI movie, and then occasionally he's in a spider suit.
Oh, so well, okay then. That's
like I said, that's why I'm looking at the trailers. It looks like Nick Cage is actually just playing a PI who has the ability to be Spider-Man. So I'm like, all right, if he's actually going to be in this, then I'm.
Yeah, I always assumed it was going to be like basically him voicing it, except maybe a couple scenes unmasked. So that actually makes me more intrigued to watch it.
No, like I said, the trailer looks very much like it's him being a PI, and then the spider suit is just kind of like, yeah, I need this when I need it, kind of thing.
Well, okay, then that's a good thing to hear. All right. Then going to the next week of June 5th, I have again 4 movies and I guess 5 movies. But one of them I don't know what it is. Go ahead and start with whatever you want to start with. I'm going to look this one up.
Well, there's 2 big movies coming out on June 5th. Or sorry, June 5th. One I'm excited for, and one I'm like, I guess excited by association, but not like real excited for. And the one I'm not real excited for, but I'm gonna see it, is Scary Movie 6. The concept of Scary Movie is funny. And then I went back and rewatched them like a month ago, and I was like, why did I like these? Because these are stupid. The first 2 are like decent enough, but are still not good. And then 3, 4, and 5 are just trash. So they're bringing back Scary Movie. They're bringing back everybody for the most part, for better or worse. They're bringing back everybody. Clearly, there's been a lot of horror movies that's happened between the 5th and the 6th film. If it's just not cameo the movie, obviously, but like gag, let's gag Terrifier, let's gag Scream, let's gag, and it's just like 18 gags in one scene, like Epic Movie and all these other shitty spoof movies that came out after Scary Movie, then I'm not going to give a flying fuck about this. If there's an actual plot point going through this, which Scary Movie tends to have a loose one going through, then I could potentially be happy to see this back. The trailers have not won me. They have not made me laugh. They have not made me go, okay, I want to see this. It just makes me go, oh, this feels like a cash grab that everyone in it who aren't that big anymore are wanting to get another big payday out of it. And so I want to be wrong. I want to enjoy this. I know people are going to go out and see this in droves. But just like Naked Gun, we were both excited for it, and then we got bit by Naked Gun not being good, and I'm worried that Scary Movie 6 is going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, so Scary Movie 1 and 2. The thing that 2 I didn't enjoy as much as the first one, but the first two, obviously, were heavy involved with the Wayans, directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans, who then left. Now this one again is the return of Keenan Ivory Wayans is directing it. And it's got kind of all the original kind of people back to it. I saw the first trailer in front of Scream, of course. I thought that actually looked really funny. It did win me over. I was like, I'm looking forward to this. It looks fun. Then I saw the one they put out in front of Michael. I don't know if these Michael scenes are in the movie or something they made just to promote it, but it did not work for me at all. But then again, I think Kenan Thompson is one of the least funny people who's ever been on Saturday Night Live. And he played Michael in this clips. Anyway, Scary Movie 3, 4, 5. I watched them. There are parts of them I actually enjoyed. Would I call them good movies? No, and they definitely were not nowhere near living up to the first one. This one, I think they were smart and they took some time. It's been away for some time. Horror movies have changed. Whole genres changed. They have so much new stuff to parody and make fun of. But like you, I worry from the trailers that it's just reference, which is what was bad about all the movies that tried to copy Scary Movie, like Date Movie and Epic Movie. It was just random references. But that wasn't what they did in the first couple of Scary Movies that the Wayans did. And so I'm a little, I'm trying to figure out if they strike that right balance or not. I hope they do. So, but I think this one could be a pretty big movie if it ends up being funny. Yeah, because that's not what they did in the first movie, but hopefully they found the right balance in this one. It's hard to tell. But I did say if this ends up being funny, I think this could be a huge hit. So.
Yeah, I think in spite of what I feel about this franchise, this is going to be probably the biggest comedy of the year that isn't like a kid's movie or anything like that. So it's going to make a ton of money. I'm just not excited for it. Now, the movie I am excited for that comes out on June 5th is Masters of the Universe. I will admit, I like He-Man. And I liked Masters of the Universe because I was a kid when it came out. And I know it's not necessarily a good movie, but I will still, if it's on TV, I'll throw it the fuck on and I'll watch it proudly. But I am excited to see that they're going to come out with a new version of this. Is it Nicholas Gaddison?
Galatzine, I believe.
Galatzine. I like him. He's in a lot of like chick flick stuff, but I've liked him in those, which if you can win me over in those, and then you're going to become He-Man, I'm sorry, that works. That's going to work for me. You got Idris Elba, who I love. You got Alison Brie, who's going to be a badass in this. So I'm going to love that. The one worry I have is Jared Leto as Skeletor, but of what I've seen of Skeletor, I'm liking it. And from what early screenings have been, they've said that he's actually the best part of the movie. So if you're taking the one thing that I'm worried about and you're telling me that that's the best part, either A, the movie sucks and he's the best of the worst, or the movie's great and he's the best part of it, makes me super excited. The trailers that I've seen of this has made me even more amped for this. I just wish more people were excited for it because I feel like this is one of those that's probably not going to make the money that it deserves to make. I feel like this is going to be one of those that's like, it's not going to make the money enough to get a sequel, which is going to bum me the fuck out. I so badly want people to go see this. I so badly want this to be a franchise and sequels, but I feel like Masters of the Universe is going to be very niche, like fan base, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons when it came out, that it's going to have to either blow people away to get other people to come in, or it's just not going to make its budget back.
Yeah, I watched the Masters of the Universe cartoons as a kid, and the original movie I think is complete ass. It's
You were also older than me when that movie came out, so
yeah, it was actually I don't even know if I watched that movie until relatively recent years, but it's one of those things. It's like it's kind of fun to watch and look how bad this movie is kind of way, but it's not good. So I was excited about over the last 20 years when they keep talking about making a Masters of the Universe movie and all these different things fall apart. And they're finally making it. I'm like, why are they making this now? But one thing has me excited about this movie. That's Travis Knight, who directed it. Travis Knight, who started out, he's one of the founders of Leica Entertainment, and of course, he's the director of Kubo and the Two Strings, and I believe he's the director of Paranorman as well. When he went to live action, did Bumblebee, which is maybe the best Transformers movie there's been as far as live action Transformers movies. So So I just think that I really like his the way he directs and his sensibilities, and he I think makes a good balance of like things that can be entertaining as a family movie or just for grown-ups as well. So that's the thing that I'm most excited about this movie, because I have full faith in Travis Knight. Until he fails me, I'm going to just trust him in any project he does. I watched the trailer for it. I enjoyed it. I think it looks great. I think that they have found the right balance of tone. But like you, I don't know if it'll be successful, because it has this problem where it's like young kids are going to be like, why the fuck should we care about He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? We don't care about this 40-year-old, 50-year-old franchise, whatever it is. And then the people who were fans of it back in the day, who are much older now, like us, they're going to be like, oh, well, that's a kid's movie, which means you don't have a problem with that kind of thing. But I think the audience, like, we want He-Man. It's like, what do you want? He-Man, like, rated R, blood and gore, which honestly, that could be kind of fun. But they're never going to make that movie. That's not what He-Man is. It is a kid's franchise. Yeah. So I think if this can break through and appeal to the younger audience who maybe were not fans of it back in the day, obviously, it could be successful. But I think that it has a low ceiling on it. I think it'll be like Bumblebee. It'll make some money, but it's not going to make a lot of money.
The hope that I've got is that the fans of it that are our age have kids and go, hey,
that's what I'm hoping.
I want you to go see this with me. Let's come on. This is going to be fun, because I want to see this movie and you're going to like it too. I mean, they got a big cat in it, Battle Cat and shit. It's a lot of it is going to depend on how they build the world. Because it's very much like when you're watching it, it very much feels like Asgard and Thor, which is not a bad thing by any means. But that's going to be the correlation that people are going to have with this movie is Thor for the young kids. And as long as, like you said, the tone, which once again, Travis Knight, it looks, like I said, I laughed during the trailer. But a lot of it is also very much quick shots. It's like they didn't want to give too much away, because like Alison Brie's in that, but they make sure you barely see Alison Brie. And she plays is she She-Ra? No,
Alison Brie plays Evil Lynn.
Evil Lynn, yeah, she's Evil Lynn, which I think is perfect for her. I can't wait. She's probably the one I'm most excited to see, because I want to see her as Evil Lynn. And I feel like if they can grab the tone and the nostalgia for our age, but also be fun and exciting for the young group as well, then they can get that perfect combo and make a lot of money. But it's got to hit perfectly. Because I want it to do well so we get more. But like it could be Bumblebee, where when Bumblebee ended, we were like, yeah, this is the Transformers I want to see. And we didn't get another one. I mean, we got Transformers. I forgot what the last one was called. With Rise of the Beast. With Rise of the Beast, which was a significantly better than Michael Bay. But it wasn't quite Bumblebee, but it was still better than what we had been getting, which I liked it. But I mean, Bumblebee had the heart. This one didn't really have the heart, but it had the action. So Masters of the Universe is one of those where it's like, I don't think there's a movie that comes out this year, at least this summer, that I want to succeed more than this. Because the other ones that I know they're going to succeed. This is the only one. This is like Fall Guy for me, where it's like I just so badly want you to do well. I want you to be good, and I want you to make a fuckload of money so we can get more of this. Because I feel like everyone in this film really loves these characters and would love to do more if the studios will allow them to do more. And I really, really want that to happen. The only other movie I've got for June 5th is Power Ballad. Which I'm still not quite sure what this movie's supposed to be. I've heard that it's a very heartfelt and comfort film, but then the trailers make it seem like it's Paul Rudd trying to get revenge on Nick Jonas. I really don't. I've watched two different trailers, and I'm still not 100% sure what the film is that I'm going to get with this.
Oh, but Nick Jonas is like this superstar who's like, I think we used to be in a boy band, and I was trying to kind of break out in his solo career and be taken seriously.
He's Nick Jonas.
Yeah, and trying to break out and be taken seriously. And Paul Rudd is, I believe, this songwriter who's not like he's not a big successful guy. He basically helps him write this song, and then it becomes this gigantic hit, which Nick Jonas takes credit for. And Paul Rudd is like, hey, that's my song, and I guess he wants to shared credit or if he feels he stole it or whatever. There's a very similar film that actually just came out on a very limited release this week called Original Sound, which it's got kind of the same story to it. So that's interesting. But this one actually I've been hearing a lot of good things about. I have not seen it yet, so I couldn't tell you much about it.
Yeah, it looks good, and Nick Jonas is a singer that I actually do like his performances.
I think he's proven to me he's like actually got some acting chops to him. I like him in some stuff. So.
I mean, the first time I ever watched him was on a show called Kingdom with Frank Grillo and Jonathan Tucker, and I mean that's a great fucking show. I think it went like 3 seasons. So when he went to like Jumanji and all these other things, I don't look at him as like, oh god, a Jonas brother. It's like, oh cool, Nick Jonas, because I actually like him as an actor. Paul Rudd's fucking Paul Rudd. I mean, I'm gonna watch him in pretty much everything, but I'm just not sure what the tone for this movie is. Should I be laughing at this? Should it just be heartfelt? I don't know. I'm gonna check it out. I just am not 100% on what kind of movie this is supposed to be. And you said you had at least 1 more, 2 more on this one?
Yeah, there's a movie coming out called which one? Carolina Caroline. This is a movie I just watched the trailer for, I believe, last night. I knew it was coming out, but I didn't realize it was a trailer yet. This is basically a Bonnie and Clyde, crime spree kind of thing, starring Samara Weaving and Kyle Gallner. Samara Weaving having a big year this year. So this one actually, I thought the trailer looked actually very good. It's kind of got I wouldn't call it a comedy, but definitely has some comedic tones to it. But it's like I said, it's just kind of a Bonnie and Clyde crime spree kind of thing. It is directed by the guy who did Snack Shack, who hardly anybody saw, but I actually thought was quite entertaining. It starred Gabriel LaBelle. So this one, that's all I know about this one. And then I have a movie called Office Romance, which is a Netflix movie. Again, I don't know much about this thing because there's no trailer or anything. Netflix famously waits till last minute to really drop trailers for their upcoming movies. This is a romantic comedy starring Jennifer Lopez, Brett Goldstein, Betty Gilpin, Bradley Whitford, Tony Hale. And this is coming from the director of the Mamma Mia movies, Old Parker. So again, don't really know anything more about that. Just something to put on your radar.
Is that Office Romance?
Office Romance, yes.
I heard about this, but I have not seen anything yet. Because like I said, it's Netflix. It's not even on my release date calendar. So, yeah, I didn't even know that was.
I figured. Yeah, I think it'll probably be like we'll get into May before they'll drop a trailer because being Netflix, they don't usually give more than a month's notice on these.
True. Moving to June 12th, I've got 2.
There is a third one called Stop That Train, which I can't figure out if it's a family film or what the hell this movie is. But that is another one that's on here. Let's see what that one's about. Oh, Adam Shankman is directing that, who's the guy who's done everything from like Hairspray to Wedding Planner to Walk to Remember. The 2 train stewardess BFFs switch from a dull railway to a luxurious Glamazonian express. During a massive storm, they must work with a snooty first-class crew and President Gagwell to prevent a disaster in L.A. It looks like kind of fantastical comedy kind of thing. The top billed star is RuPaul, so it's just not something I'm going to rush out and see. But just to put on, it is coming out that day. Then there's the other 2. Yeah,
there's the other 2. The one that I'm the most excited for is the one that I'm probably not going to get to see, which is The Furious, which Brian got to see at Beyond Chicago. Probably going to win all the action fight scene awards at the end of the year here, unless something really...
Unless, like, Doomsday has something in it, yeah.
Yeah, Brian did his review on our last episode. Go ahead and check that out. But that's finally coming out June 12th. Like I said, if I can get to see it, this is going to become one of my most anticipated films of the summer.
Spoiler alert, when we get to the most anticipated of the summer, this is number 1 for me, and I've already seen it. So,
but yeah, I don't know if I'll get it. So I can't put it on anything. But it's an insane action film.
Insane. If you get to go see it, if it opens in your year, go see The Furious. And if you can see it in theaters, do it, because seeing this with a crowd, which I don't know if there'll be crowded theaters or not, but people who really appreciate it around you, it's making it that much more fun.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm so hoping that I get it in my area. But I'm not holding my breath. Let's just say that. We get Desert Warrior, but we probably won't get The Furious. That's the weird thing, is that Desert Warrior's got like 3 screens, and I probably won't get The Furious. That's not a knock on Desert Warrior. It's just like what the fuck? It's very weird the things that I get and not get. But the biggest movie coming out that day is Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day. Now, this was a movie that at the beginning of the year, Brian and I were very high on because it's Spielberg. We both love Spielberg. I think most people love Spielberg and what he does. And it's got a great cast around it. And it's an alien movie. And Spielberg does really great with aliens, aka E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Keep going from there. You'll figure it out. So when we heard about Disclosure Day, which I don't think it was called Disclosure Day at the time, it was called something else. I can't remember what it was.
Actually didn't even have an official title until basically the trailer came out.
I thought it had a title, and I
it had like rumored titles, but then none of them.
Yeah. But the trailer came out, and Brian and I were both like, wah wah. Like, this looks, I don't want to say boring, but it didn't look very Spielberg-y. It just kind of was like, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they released a second trailer, which Brian won't watch unless it's.
No, I saw it played in the theater. I have seen it. Yes.
To me, this second trailer feels like a Spielberg movie.
100% agree.
I am not saying that it has like made my needle go in terms of excitement, but it definitely went from like here to there. Because as I was watching it, the first trailer, like I said, it just felt kind of like anyone else's movie with Emily Blunt and
Josh
O'Connor and everybody else. And I was just like, okay, this just doesn't feel like a Spielberg movie. But the last trailer, it has that Spielberg flair and tone, and what makes Spielberg. And it at least now has me going. You went from me going, I'm not going to see this opening day to, okay, I'm going to check this out opening day. I'm not going to be like, yeah, but I'm going to be like, okay, it's Spielberg. I got to go see it opening day. So you did finally get to see the trailer, and you kind of agree with what I was thinking about.
Yeah, the second trailer is so much better. Second trailer definitely makes it feel like more of a Spielberg film. Well, to me, honestly, it felt like a movie that wants to be a Spielberg film. It felt like Super 8, somebody like trying to do Spielberg style. But it's still, it looks great. It looks like it has the right tone. It definitely a big improvement over that first trailer. Great cast down the line. So I'm at least intrigued by it. I don't think it's not going to be like top tier Spielberg. But, I think it'll be a solid movie, kind of in the vein of, his, War of the Worlds and Close Encounters, things like that.
He said that knock on Super 8, but Super 8 is fucking amazing. And
no, it wasn't a knock on it. I was just saying that J.J. Abrams himself will admit to you that he was trying to make a Spielbergian type film. He was trying to ape that Amblin 80s style.
And if you guys have never seen Super 8, you fucking need to see Super 8. Even though now people are going to go, it's just like Stranger Things. And it's like, no.
That was not a knock on Super 8 in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, okay, because Super 8's amazing.
No, that was just saying how it feels like a different director doing Spielberg's style is what I meant.
And I 1,000% agree with you.
Yeah.
Did you have you said it was Stop That Train. That was it?
That's all I have for June 12th, yes.
Okay. June 19th. I've got 2 written down. I know there's more than that.
There's a bunch of small independent movies. There's Leviticus, Rose of Nevada. These are all, again, ones are made on the festival circuit. Little small indie films, which I'm not going to bother, but just
I saw the trailer for Leviticus yesterday. Okay, I had like 30. I was like backlogged by like 30 trailers yesterday, so I finally sat down and watched it. Leviticus is like a gay horror movie. It's like it's like gay invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like no, scratch that. It's like that meets Get Out with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It didn't work for me. And before you go, it's because it's a homo movie. No, it's not. It's nothing to do with that. But it looks almost like they're trying to scare this guy straight. And so they like take his lover and they like have like a clone who's not the guy he's in love with, and this thing's like, attacking him and shit and stuff like it's weird. It's not something I'm going to check out, but it's probably going to get a lot of box office for what it is. Not for me. I didn't like the trailer, and it has nothing to do with them being homosexuals or not. It's just the trailer itself didn't really work for me.
One more small independent one I am quite interested in, actually, and it's called Oh Horizon. which basically the only reason I'm really interested in this is it stars Maria Bakalova, who I really like, and I hope she gets to get more lead roles like this. Basically, she plays, I believe, like a zoologist. I mean, she works with monkeys. But her father died, and somebody manages to create this like digitized version of him for her, so she can like interact with him again. It's got a little bit of, I guess, kind of a sci-fi or at least a futuristic twist to it. But it's from what I understand, it's kind of a drama. But the fact that she started, I just wanted to put that on the radar. And then I have like the 2 major releases.
First, I've never heard of that movie. It's not on my.
Neither had I till yesterday. So
yeah, it's not even on my. It's not even on my release dates list. But yeah, the 2 big ones, which. This first one feels more like something that would get released in like September to November.
It does, yeah.
It does not feel like a summer movie, but that is The Death of Robin Hood. Hugh Jackman basically plays kind of like an old Robin Hood who's like trying to pretend he's not Robin Hood anymore, trying to stay in hiding. Very much a drama action film, but you know what? It's got Hugh Jackman being Hugh Jackman. I'm fucking there for it. This is one of those, probably gonna be one of the better acted movies of the summer, so I'm definitely going to check that one out. It's enough to the point where I was like, I think when the trailer first came out like a few months back, I was like, oh, is this like a straight to digital? And I was like, oh shit, it's got a summer release. Okay, I gotta pay attention to this one more now. They dropped another trailer this past week. It didn't really do anything. It didn't really like change how I felt about it, but I was already sold on it the first time I saw it. So.
Yeah, it feels to me like old man Robin Hood. It feels like basically his Robin Hood version of Logan.
He's old man Robin Hood, like old man Logan.
Yep. It's basically kind of him, kind of past his prime, and like in his later years. The thing that gets me about this, it's directed by Michael Sarnowski, who did Quiet Place Day One. He also did Pig, which 2 very different movies, very different styles, genres, tones,
but 2 very good movies though.
Yeah, both very good. I'm just not sure where this one's going to lie, because the trailers are playing up the action. I feel like the action is going to be a small part of this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be more of a drama about him and this family he runs into. But it's got me intrigued enough to watch it. So yeah.
I think it's going to be more along the lines of Pig. Personally,
I think it's closer to that. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot closer to Pig. Then of course the big movie, which is going to be one of the biggest films of the summer in terms of box office and popularity. Toy Story 5. Pixar is bringing back our favorite toys for a 5th, hopefully final adventure. And that's coming from someone who loves Toy Story and who will defend Toy Story 4 to his dying breath as a great film. I say that with the respect that Toy Story 5 didn't really do much for me in terms of the trailers. It did more for Brian, was one of the people I had to defend Toy Story 4 to most. But he said he liked the trailer more than I did. So yeah, everyone's back, even Woody. Somehow he finds his way home, even though he was left at a carnival. Apparently he finds his way back.
They've been communicating with through these radios, and they basically call him back to help.
Yes,
yeah.
But apparently these radios don't run out of batteries, and if they do, they know how to figure this shit out. But once again, they're toys. They don't really have brains, but they're toys. So Woody gets back with the crew, and they are now fighting technology, which is a tablet. And
it's just a losing battle as a parent, I will tell you right now.
Exactly. So I don't really know where they're going to go with this. If they can bring the same kind of dramatic struggle that Toy Story 3 had, because they are fighting technology. It is a losing battle. I will be very excited for it. If it's more kind of along the lines of what Toy Story 4 was, I don't think it's going to work with a lot of people. In terms of new cast, because they're back in the room, outside of the tablet, I don't really see a whole lot of like new cast. It's not like we're going to get Duke Kaboom or Duck and Bear, or was it Duck and Bear that was Key and Peele?
Duck and Rabbit?
It's Duck and Rabbit. I don't think we're getting a lot of new cast members to this outside of the tablet itself, but
there are a lot of new voices listed, but I'm not sure they might all be like bit parts. Because I mean, Greta Lee is the main one. She's the tablet. She was most recently I remember her from Tron Ares, but she also did some other stuff. But it also has Conan O'Brien, Craig Robinson, Jay Hernandez, Christian Shaw. So there's a few new voices, but I don't know how big of parts they have.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I'm not. This is probably the first Toy Story film that has come out that is not going to be on my most. I mean, it was on my most anticipated at the beginning of the year because it's still Toy Story 5. But are we talking about? Is this in my top 5 most anticipated of the summer? It's not, which is shocking because Toy Story always is like right there. Yes, I'm going to see it day one. It's still Toy Story, but in terms of my excitement level for it, it's not that high. But in terms of Pixar, it's going to be the best Pixar movie that's probably been released since probably Elemental. Or no, sorry, Inside Out came out last year. My bad. Inside Out 2 was actually great. It's going to be better than Hoppers, I hope, because Hoppers didn't really do much for me. But yeah, I'm not super excited, but I mean, it is still Toy Story, so I'm still going to give it its chance. But yeah.
Yeah, Toy Story 3 came out, and I'm like, okay, do we need a Toy Story 3? I was one of those people. But then it turned out to be a really good movie. It was a great movie. Then years and years more passed. They came out Toy Story 4 and said, this is really necessary. Just because, I mean, like Toy Story 2 wasn't really an ending. Toy Story 3 felt like an ending. So Toy Story 4 felt even more necessary. And then when we got the movie, I was not impressed by it at all. I was actually bored by most of it. It wasn't a bad movie, but I was just like, I didn't love it. It's like, whatever. And then they announced Toy Story 5. I don't need a Toy Story 5, but I think they found a good angle because I think the traditional toys versus technology, that is kind of a natural progression of where this is going, and it kind of, is a reality in, today's world, of course. So I think they found a good angle. They found a good story to tell. Whether or not it's good, I don't know. I'll at least see it. This will be the first Pixar movie I think I've seen in the last 5 years. So I'll check it out, but like you, not excited about it. But it's going to be huge. A shitload of money.
Yeah. That was the last for the 19th, right?
Yes.
Okay. Before we jump to the 26th, I do have one for the 23rd. Probably a straight to digital, but I saw the trailer for it yesterday, and it's called Hungry, which is a killer hippo movie.
Oh, I think I heard about that one.
It's got people in it that we know. It's not like a huge cast, but it's got people that I'm like, oh, I've seen that person from this, and this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's basically these two friends. They go on a safari trip, and they're all worried about crocodiles and alligators, and I think it's alligators and all that stuff. Little do they know that the most dangerous thing in the waters is a hippo. And it basically goes on a rampage and stuff because hippos are actually fucking dangerous.
Oh yeah.
And this movie is basically going to show you that. Because they're like, stay out of the water. Well, guess what? Hippos can get out of the fucking water. So, like I said, the trailer, it's not something it's like Thrash on Netflix. It's like, it just needs to entertain me. It's not going to blow me. It's not going to blow anyone away. It's not going to be like a movie of the year kind of thing. And it's 90 minutes, probably, of what we'll get. It just needs to be entertaining. And I think it could be. It looks like it could be. It depends on how dark they make it because they're obviously going to be in the jungle. And you have to deal with it's too fucking dark and shit. So a lot of it's going to depend on how they shoot it. But the trailer, it worked enough for me to write it down. I'm like, okay, I want to check this out.
So I haven't seen this trailer yet. I think I heard this was coming out. I like the little tagline, which is, this hippo isn't playing games.
It actually says that in the trailer too. And I was
like, I think there's two things that are going to decide if this is going to be good or not. One is if it looks like a low budget straight to VOD thing, or if it looks like a quote unquote real movie. Because it could look like a cheap sci-fi channel thing. I don't know, but you've watched the trailer, so
no. I would say it's like along the lines of like Thrash. Like it looks. Okay.
Because that's the other thing I think is important is not just the quality of it, but also the tone. I think if they can find the right tone where they're not trying to take themselves too seriously, but they don't want to make it just too stupid either. So if they can find that tone, it could be a fun movie.
I can say from the trailer, which Thrash did the same thing though. Thrash's trailer looked serious, but it had some stupid fun elements in it. Hungry looks serious, but that doesn't mean there's not fun elements in it that we just haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
So, going to the 26th, I've got two.
There's also a streaming movie called Little Brother coming out. This is on Netflix. A famous real estate agent's carefully curated world is upended when his eccentric little brother unexpectedly reappears. The fact that little brother's in quotes, I don't know if that. That's got John Cena, Eric Andre, Christopher Maloney, Sherry Cola's in this, Michelle Monaghan's in this. So again, being Netflix, they like to be nice and mysterious. Don't know anything more about it, but I'll check it out on the cast.
I have a third one that I just scanned over. And I was like, oh yeah, this one. I just saw a trailer for this too. It's called The Invite.
I am going to see that next weekend, actually, at a different Chicago Film Festival.
Like months before it comes out over here.
Well, it's the Chicago Critics Film Festival going on, but it's open to the public. So I'm actually going in for another day to see a couple more movies.
Yeah, The Invite. It's got Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, who we don't see in enough things anymore because she's more trying to be a director. Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton. Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde are a couple. Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton a couple. They're hanging out, and I want to say the basis of the story is that they want a couple swap. Is that what the story is? Okay,
that's all I understand of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know much else to it, but those four people, I'm there. I want to see. Like, I'm assuming it's going to be have a comedy aspect to it based off of the people that are in it. So yeah, that right there makes me want to check that one out.
Oh yeah, it's definitely comedic. It was one of the big hits of like Sundance Film Festival. I believe this one is also directed by Olivia Wilde, right?
I don't know if that one is directed by Olivia Wilde. I'll check. No, because I thought she was directing something else, but no, well, she did direct it. Yeah, it says latest film.
She's in another movie this summer, coming out later this summer, that she's did not direct, but this one she directed.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one actually looks fun to me. So, and it's gotten great reviews, and like I said, it was kind of the big breakout of Sundance. So I'm gonna check this one out. I
don't know if it's gonna be released in theaters near me, so it's probably gonna be one of those I'm gonna have to wait on until I can get it on digital. And then of course there's the big two. What was the name of the one you were talking about with Cena?
Little Brother.
That is not even on my list.
Like I said, it's Netflix. They pretty much try to hide everything until like a month before.
Yeah, I didn't even know that existed. But yeah, we got the big two, which one once again just came out of fucking nowhere, and all of a sudden has a title, hasn't gotten a trailer yet, and that's Jackass, Best and Last. Does that mean it's the final Jackass? Finally, do we know? I mean, they have a young cast.
Johnny Knoxville has come out and said that it is, but who knows?
It depends on how much money.
I believe it is his last one, at least doing stunts. I could see them in the future making another one with like maybe younger people, like they were adding in the last film, where he's still around. But I don't think you're going to see him doing like physical stunts anymore.
At least from the one picture I saw, it looks like everyone from the last one, young crew and old crew, are back for this. It didn't look like there was anyone new, but that could have just been one skit that I saw. Jackass Forever, I thought was funny. It's always funny. Jackass is always going to be funny.
It's just funny, but it was easily the weakest of the four.
But it's like, is it as funny all the way through? I still think it has probably one of the best skits that they ever did with the Silence of the Lambs skit, which won our funniest moment of the year, or funniest part of the year.
Go watch our Jackass Ranked video.
Yes, I think Jackass pretty much ran roughshod through that whole thing. So we still like it, but it's also to the point too where it's like you see these guys' ages, like, guys, you really, your bodies can't handle this anymore. Like, you need to stop, which is why they brought the young cast in. So knowing that they're going to do another one, I mean, it's like, Johnny, you're the host of Fear Factor now. Like, you got your own. You don't need to do this. And maybe he's not doing as much in this. Maybe it's more he's just there because he's like just there to kind of control everything or run everything because it's Johnny. He's got to be there. It's like he can't not be there. Definitely not. Bam Margera definitely is not back. God, Bam, what the fuck happened to you, dude? But everyone else looks to be there. They haven't released anything yet. All they've released is the title and a cast picture, which I'm honestly okay with that because we don't want to see anything. That the greatness of Jackass is the element of surprise and not knowing what crazy shit they're gonna do. So if they didn't come out with a trailer, or if it was just a trailer showing like the old days as like and then it says best and last, I'd be okay with that for a trailer. It's just like, just show the greatest hits and don't show us anything new. Or if you do, just show audio, like let's hear audio of them just like, oh my God, kind of thing. Like, that's how I would sell the trailer for that. But yeah, we're definitely going to see it. It's like Brian and I are definitely not going to not see this movie. I think we literally didn't we do a whole Jackass episode before Forever came out where we talked about like all 3 movies on one episode.
I don't know if it was before or after. We did a whole Jackass,
We did do a whole
flashback
Jackass
thing, and we rated our like the top skits and
Yes.
things. And yeah,
I was like, we definitely did the one. Anything you want to add when it comes to Jackass?
no, it's going to be more of the same, pretty much, and I'm there for it. I love it. So.
Obviously, the other big movie is one of the bigger films of the summer, and that is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It is the second film in the new James Gunn DCU, and it's the I lost track of how many because you teeter with Peacemaker's part of it, and it's not part of it, and Harley Quinn and all that. But I mean, it's the second movie of his new DCU, where Superman last year was a huge hit. This time around, it is following. I know Superman's got like a small part. I don't know how big of a part he'll have to play. But we are.
I think
following,
it's not doing much. Yeah, no.
Yeah, if anything, he'll be like on the phone or some shit. But we are following Supergirl this time around, played by, help me with her name,
Millie Alcock.
Millie Alcock, which most people will know from House of the Dragon. Obviously, one of our fan favorites, Crypto, is going to be back in this one. The introduction of Jason Momoa's Lobo, which is the one character that everyone said Jason Momoa should have been and not Aquaman. He's finally going to be stepping into the Lobo role. How have you felt with the trailers that we've gotten for this so far?
I've not loved them. I feel like Millie Alcock has a great character. I think that she's found with James Gunn's writing, of course, and with her performing it. I think I like the character they've created. I think she looks good. I like her tone. I like her delivery of the lines and stuff. I do love Crypto, which is why I did not like the last show. You realize that somebody shoots Crypto with something. He's dying. She has to save him.
I saw that. I was like,
that's not going to make me happy. I don't want to see you hurting dogs. And that also means you're taking him out of commission for most of the movie, which is disappointing.
It did feel like it was more like I have to do this to save Crypto kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what the movie is. I think. So I want to like this movie. Craig Gillespie's I've liked most of his stuff as director. Obviously, it's got James Gunn in the universe. I've liked what we've seen so far. And Millie Alcock, I think, is great casting. But the trailer's kind of it very much does feel like DC's Guardians of the Galaxy kind of universe they put her in, which could be good, could be bad. But I hope this is really good. I think it will be. I think this will be good. Whether or not it'll be great remains to be seen.
Yeah, I think we kind of felt the same way when Superman's trailers came out last year. It's like, It looks good. I don't know if it's going to be something that's going to wow me. And it ended up being, it went from good to great for both of us. We both really, really enjoyed Superman last year. This one, and then once again, has nothing to do with Millie Alcock. I think she's fully capable of playing the role. It's more the marketing of how they've been portraying Supergirl that is not really getting me jazzed up for this. I'm still going to be there night one. I'm still going to check it out, and I'm still holding high hopes that this is going to be good. Do I think it's going to make the money that Superman made? No. I just want it to be good because I don't want it to derail Millie Alcock. And I want this to work out well. I want it to be that thing where, kind of like with Superman, where we kind of went in with like low expectations. Let's just see what happens. And then came out of it going, that was actually really fucking good. I want this to be the same. I don't know if it will. Because like I said, the trailers have not done much for me at all. And now it's to the point where I don't want to watch any more trailers because we're too close to it now. But I'm going to go in with kind of like, I'm going to go check out Supergirl. I hope it's good. Instead of, I'm going to go see Supergirl. I'm so excited. Like, it's just like, I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Going to July. Fuck July 1st. No one cares about that piece of shit movie.
This whole first week of July, there are 2 things coming out, and I don't care about either one of them. Minions and Monsters. All we'll say about that, it's another Minions movie, more of the same. It'll make a shitload of money, and I don't even know if I'll see it. If I do see it, it'll be
I have not watched a single Minions Despicable Me movie since the first Minion. What came out first, the Minions or Despicable Me 2?
No, I think 3 was out before Minions, wasn't it?
I didn't watch the third Despicable Me. I know that. I know.
The
I
thing
watched
with 3 Minions, 4 the second Minions, and none of this.
I watched Despicable Me 1 and 2, hated them. I watched Minions just because I think Sandra Bullock was like the voice actor for the for the lead. I was like, I'll check that out. Still hated it. I hate these fucking movies.
These are definitely made for much younger kids who are just like,
no, they're not even made. No, they're not even made for kids. They're made for kids, and they're made for teenage girls who think that the Minions are cute and adorable. And it's like, oh my god, they're annoying and cringe, just like all.
We've already spent too much time on this movie.
Exactly. So fuck this movie. It's gonna make a fuckload of money. It won't be from us. So let's move forward. You said,
and then I have July 3rd, Young Washington, which we were just talking earlier about how Angel Studios kind of moving into maybe not entirely faith-based movies. They're making some other, films as well. There may be faith themes in it. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'll see this one, but just so you know, it's coming out. Young Washington. About Young George Washington, obviously.
Yeah. I thought there was another movie coming out, but it looks like it actually got pushed to 2027 now that I'm looking it up. So I'm not going to say that. I thought Shiver was coming out, but I just looked it up.
Shiver moved from July to August and then completely off schedule to next year.
Yeah, so I had that written down. Yeah. But yeah, Young Washington, like I said, I saw the trailer for this yesterday. I mean, it looks good. Is it something that I'm going to rush to see on 4th of July weekend? Probably not. But like I said, the biggest thing that threw me was Angel Studios, was because Angel Studios is usually like the faith, like Sound of Freedom faith movies, and Brian and I don't care about those. But they've got this and Runner coming out in, I think, September. Is, maybe we'll check these out. We're definitely going to check out Runner. I think both of you and I are both going to check out Runner. Young Washington might be something that we'll probably check out like when it gets to digital. I'm probably not going to go to the theater to see this. But the trailer didn't look bad. It did not look bad. It made me go, what the fuck is Angel doing? Are they not making like religious-based films anymore? They're actually making movies? So I have to actually start paying attention to them now. I guess we'll find out when this and Runner and Brink of War is another one that comes out in the summer. I guess that's something I got to start paying attention to. But going to July 10th, we've got, at least there's one real big movie, and then there's a big movie for Brian and I that are coming out. Is there anything else besides the two main ones that you see?
I have a third movie, and for me, my excitement about the 3 movies is complete inverse of how successful they will be. The small one coming out, which we didn't have a release date until just recently, it just dropped a trailer. I haven't even watched it yet. Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass. This is the one with Zoe Deutsch. It's got John Hamm in it. It's basically a sex, like a hall pass kind of guy. They have a Celebrity Sex Pass.
Did you say this is directed by David Wayne? Or it didn't come out with the trailer? It
just dropped a trailer like yesterday, but I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it yet either.
But this is I like everybody behind it. It's directed by David Wayne from the state, so I'm sure it'll have Ken Marino and all his usual state people will probably pop up in it. Zoe Deutsch is the big draw for me. This one I think should be pretty funny. I believe also is Ben Wang in this one, I think as well.
Yeah, Ben Wang is in it.
Yeah, so that's the third one, and it's honestly the one I'm most excited about for that week.
Obviously I'm excited for Zoe Deutsch, which I'm so happy that she's in Invincible now because I get to listen to her in Invincible. Yes, Zoe Deutsch is obviously the sell point here, but John Hamm in comedy is a sell point for me because I think John Hamm's hilarious.
Oh, absolutely.
I love him as a comedy, and we both have kind of really enjoyed Ben Wang over the past year. So I gotta watch this trailer as soon as we get out of here. The other one is Evil Dead Burn, which I figured you'd be more excited for that because I thought you really liked Evil Dead Rise. And
I'm excited for Evil Dead Burn. I'm just more excited for Gail Daughtry.
Okay.
And I'm least excited about the third movie.
Evil Dead Burn. Did they actually give a synopsis for this yet? Is this a direct sequel or is this a complete?
After the loss of her husband, a woman seeks solace with her in-laws in their secluded family home. As one by one they are transformed into deadites, turning the gathering into a family reunion from hell. She comes to discover.
So this looks like it's not connected to Evil Dead Rise.
I think it's just the same spirit has found a new family to terrorize kind of thing. I don't think it's got like plot wise has any connection to the previous.
If anything, it's probably like a loose thing, kind of like how they started Evil Dead Rise, and at the very end, it's like, oh, they bumped into each other, and that passed it on to here. Maybe they'll probably do something like that because they really made Evil Dead Rise feel like that girl was kind of taken on as the new Ash. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. I don't know any of the cast for this. It's Evil Dead. It's probably not going to be any real big names or anyone that we really know. Is it still Lee Cronin?
No, it's directed by a guy named Sebastian Vanacek,
Okay,
who I know nothing about. I don't recognize anything he previously directed.
gotcha.
I believe it still has Sam Raimi is still on as a producer and is yeah.
I'm sure.
I don't really know much about this.
I'm sure Bruce Campbell's probably got some producing in this as well.
He's got executive producer credit on it.
Yeah.
So does Lee Cronin, actually.
I would say I thought Lee Cronin was kind of taken over as like the helm of the Evil Dead franchise. So, but yeah, Evil Dead Rise, I liked aspects of it. I liked the concept they were doing. It was how they executed some of the things that didn't quite work for me. But overall, it was good. It is going. I do kind of miss the Ash of it all, because now it's just more kind of become like extreme torture porn kind of thing without it being Saw. And while it's still Evil Dead, it just doesn't hit me like Ash Evil Dead hits me. So Evil Dead Burn, I'm not like, yeah, but I will say they did release like a small clip at CinemaCon that looked really cool. It did look really cool, but that could just be one cool scene, and the rest of the movie is just kind of
well, a lot like Evil Dead Rise. I think had a lot of great horror scenes to it, horror moments to it. But as an overall film, the story kind of like whatever. So I'm wondering if this will be the same way. We'll find out.
We'll find out. But I did like the clip that we did see. There's literally one point where she's like crawling, and like it looked like one of the dudes was like literally floating behind her. I was like, that's cool. But at the same time, she's clearly crawling. I was like, why is no one grabbing her? Like everyone is like all around her and no one sees her kind of thing. Just guys, go see the clip. It's like a minute and a half clip. But yeah, there's nothing much really to say about that. It looks like this is the way Evil Dead's gonna be now, and it's kind of a take it or leave it. And I kind of just want Ash or an Ash-like character, because I feel like the extreme gore works if you add a comedic blend to it. If you just are just straight gore, torture porn, the movie, I'm sorry, I'm not really. Where's the enjoyment in that?
But that's what this reboot trilogy seems to be, at least so far.
Yeah.
Is it's taking it completely seriously, which is fine. They're great horror movies, but we do miss that comic edge.
And little side quest here. That's the problem with Lee Cronin's The Mummy that just came out a couple weeks back. Is I was going in that expecting to see a mummy movie, and it's not a mummy movie. It is Lee Cronin wanting to do Evil Dead with kind of more like The Exorcist, with a little bit of the mummy sprinkled into it. And it's just them kind of just torture porn, destroying this little girl. And I'm watching, I'm like, I don't know who's actually enjoying this. Like, this is not enjoyable. This is not fun. And I was like, well, Evil Dead Rise wasn't really fun either. And if Evil Dead Burn is kind of going to be like that as well, then Evil Dead might be something that's going to start kind of falling off to the side for me. Like, at least with Terrifier, it's, torture porn, but at least it's funny to a point. There's no fun in these. And like, that's like I said, The Mummy is one of my least reviewed films of the year. And it's just because it's just torture of a young, child. And it's just not enjoyable at all. And I feel like Evil Dead's going to kind of become that now. Diverting away from Evil Dead, you have something that's even more horrifying, which is The Rock in a wig in the live-action Moana. We talked about this and anticipated. Moana, I think, was Brian and I were both okay with Moana until everyone made us sick of Moana. And because if all you need is something to be so mildly entertaining, and then everyone makes it exhaustively annoying in a couple months. And that's how it was with Moana. Moana 2 came out, which wasn't even supposed to be a movie. It was supposed to be a TV series, and it was cookie cutter as fuck because they were basically just clipping parts of the show into a movie, and it felt soulless. And now we're getting a live action reboot of the first film, and never has The Rock looked weirder. He's clearly wearing a muscle suit, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is what it is. He's still buff as shit, but he's not Moana size. And God, that would be incredibly unhealthy if he was Moana size. But the hair looks bad. I don't know what they could have done better personally, but it looks bad. But even in the trailer, did you watch the trailer at all?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer. Yeah.
The Rock doesn't even look like he really wants to be there. It looks like he's giving like 10% of the energy he gave in Moana in this trailer. It could have just been. First off, it's a trailer, so I can't really say it could have been an off scene, but why would you release that as the trailer though? But it just felt like The Rock really wasn't giving that same energy. I'm sure the young actress who's playing Moana is going to be really good in it. There are aspects of this movie that I would like to see, but by no means is this a movie that I really want to go watch. I know it's going to be huge, like Minions. It's going to be one of the biggest films in the summer, but I have zero interest in checking this out. I will just probably wait until it pops on Disney Plus, or if it's a day that I'm just really fucking bored, much like Lilo and Stitch. If I'm bored, maybe I'll go check it out. But I'm usually too busy these days to go and watch something because I'm bored. I usually just do that at home.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch is the perfect comparison for me because I still haven't watched Lilo and Stitch because I have zero interest in that. I have zero interest in this. Someday, maybe I'll get bored and be like, maybe I'll check it out finally. But I'm in no hurry, so I won't be seeing this in theaters. I still never watched Moana 2, so
you're not missing much.
But like you said, it will make a ton of money. So
yeah. Let's see, the 17th, I've got 2.
Yes.
We got Cut Off, which I don't really know much about.
So. Jonah Hill and I believe Kristen Wiig, I think is the other one. It's basically their rich father or whatever is going to cut them off. They've been used to like living off of him. That's honestly all I know about the movie.
Nathan Lane is the dad. I know that much.
Yeah, it's a comedy, obviously. Jonah Hill, Kristen Wiig, Bette Midler, Nathan Lane, Camila Cabello. Yeah, what I just told you is the entire plotline they have listed here too. So don't know much more about it.
And of course, the big movie, which is once again going to be one of the biggest films of the summer, is Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Throw a dart at a bunch of faces, and you're probably going to hit someone who's in this film. This has got an enormously huge cast, much like Oppenheimer. I'm glad that they have not. I mean, I'm granted it comes out in July. We're probably going to get one more real big trailer for it. I've liked that they've not given much of anything right now for this movie. I know that there's like didn't they like release like the first 10 minutes or something? And
it wasn't the first 10 minutes. They released like a 5 to 7 minute clip of like the traditional Trojan horse scene, basically. Yeah. But like the trailers have mostly been more kind of showing the tone, the atmospheric. You know, it's got flashes of scenes and battles and things going on, but just kind of give you an idea for kind of the angle they're going for. Because this is unlike Christopher Nolan's previous movies. This one's going to have a little bit more fantastical elements to it with Cyclops and things like this. So I think that they've been smart in the way they marketed this. I'm sure they'll at some point come out with a trailer that's a little bit more explains the story for maybe people that aren't familiar with the Odyssey. But yeah, I don't that Christopher Nolan's pretty good about marketing his films and not giving away everything, even if this is a story that's existed for centuries. So it's not really a surprise. But
yeah, I mean the cast is it's the best in terms of casting. I love these kinds of films. I'm pretty sure Brian does too. I mean, we both love Troy, even though Troy's story stops right at the beginning of the Odyssey. You know, oh god, I would have loved if they got Brad Pitt back, but he wouldn't have been in it very long because Achilles dies. But Nolan, I love Nolan. I'm not a Nolan like crazy like a lot of these people are. I can admit when Nolan's movies aren't good. But
the Nolan fans are the reason I'm not more excited about this movie, because Nolan fans are just so over the top and they automatically are in love with give 10 out of 10, 5 stars to anything he's made before they even see it. And those are the people that praise him and his films. And it's like, you almost make me less excited about this because you're being so over the top about it. Do I think this is going to be a great film? Yes. But it's like, just let the film come out and let's watch it.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm super jazzed about this because I like the Odyssey story, and with Nolan directing it, I am super intrigued by it. And then of course the cast alone. I know people are already going, that's not historically accurate. The fucking shut the fuck up. Like, let us do what. Let Nolan do whatever the fuck he wants to do. If he wants to make them look more like a Batman fucking suit, fucking make them look like a Batman suit. You weren't alive back then, motherfuckers. And the Odyssey is not real. So it's like 300. Like, if they want to have like a the way 300 was done, which was a comic book, then let him fucking do what he wants to do. I guarantee you're gonna be sitting there night one going, "That's fucking cool," and not going, "It's not historically accurate." But I am. This is probably one of my most anticipated films of the year, and definitely of the summer. I'm assuming this is going to make top tier money because of Oppenheimer. If you can make people go to Oppenheimer, which is effectively a very dry movie, very well done, yes, but a very dry movie.
This will be the Oppenheimer of this year.
Yeah,
and I think it'll probably make me more, honestly. Yeah.
It should make more because it's definitely going to be more exciting.
The only question is, like, I think what helped push Oppenheimer over the top was it maybe brought people who don't normally go to the movies, especially older audiences, to go see this story. This one, I think, can have that same effect, but it might also, some people might not be like the fantastical side of it. So it's going to be, I don't know how that'll balance out.
I don't know. I'm there for like Clash of the Titans and shit. Just not.
Oh, I am too. I'm saying some of these older audiences who came to Oppenheimer might not come to Odyssey. Is all I'm saying.
I'm there for like the old school Clash of the Titans, not the Sam Worthington piece of shit Clash of the Titans. Those fucking sucked. But yeah, Odyssey comes out July 17th. I see there are movies released on the 24th, but none of them popped up to me. Did they pop up to you?
Well, there's 72 Hours, which is a Netflix movie, Kevin Hart movie, directed by Tim Story. It's written by the guys behind the Hilder and Kumar movies. It looks like your typical Kevin Hart Netflix comedy. Basically, this guy gets inadvertently added to a group text, and he decides to actually, start hanging out with these guys and joining them on their bachelor party, and it'll be your typical Kevin Hart comedy. A lot of yelling and a lot of short jokes. Then there's The Dink, which I don't remember what that is. What's The Dink?
It's Apple TV.
I remember wanting to see
not Peter Dinklage?
No. Oh, it's a pickleball comedy with Jake Johnson, Mary Steenburgen, Ed Harris, Ben Stiller, Andy Roddick. Yeah, it's basically a pickleball comedy. Actually, I think this one actually looks like it could be amusing. Again, there's no trailer or anything. I don't think there is yet. But I want to check that one out. And then this is one of the ones I'm excited about. Hadestown, which is a Broadway stage musical. They're going to put out a filmed version of this, kind of like they did with Hamilton. This, I imagine, will be a limited release. But I'm excited about it because it's actually a really good musical. It's based on the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. But yeah, so anybody who likes musical theater, check out Hadestown.
You had me sold on on the Dink because you said Jake Johnson, and I'm 100% there for anything Jake Johnson.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all we got for the 24th. Going to July 31st, probably the biggest, if not one of the biggest films of the summer. MCU is back with Spider-Man Brand New Day. It has been way too long since we've had Tom Holland's Spider-Man back in theaters. No Way Home was, what, 2020, 2021?
21, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, it's been 5 years. It doesn't feel like it's been 5. He's been gone way too fucking long. Everyone's back. Even people from the first Spider-Man film that we probably forgot about is back. Trailer looked very promising. There are story elements that they're going to be doing in this that I did not think we would ever get in a live action Spider-Man, the Man Spider storyline. I don't know how far they're going to go with that. Oh God, I hope they go full. I just don't know if they're willing to risk going that full with it. But I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. They're some of my favorite ones in the MCU. So I am obviously super excited, anticipating for that one. Anything you want to add for Spider-Man?
No, I mean it's obviously going to be one of the biggest movies, and it's one of the ones I'm most anticipating. It's going to be fun, but yeah, you pretty much covered all that. So.
And then the other one is the other Olivia Wilde movie that we were talking about. I Want Your Sex. I this is one of those times where I wish I worked at a movie theater again, so people could come up to me going, "I want your sex too." Just go. It's not for sale, buddy. just to fuck with them each time they ask for tickets for that movie. It's got Olivia Wilde. Blanking on his name.
Cooper Hoffman.
Daveed Diggs. Mason Gooding is who I was thinking of.
Oh,
it's Mason Gooding. But yeah, Cooper Hoffman.
Chase Three Wonders, who from the studio. I liked her.
Yeah. Basically, the plot is Elliot, who does not say who Elliot is. So I don't know.
Cooper Hoffman.
Is that Cooper Hoffman? Okay.
Yeah.
Elliot lands a job for Erica Tracy, who's Olivia Wilde, as her sexual muse. That's all we know.
She's an artist. The Letterboxd one says Elliot lands an exciting job for renowned artist, icon, and provocateur Erica Tracy. His fantasies come true as Erica taps him to become her sexual muse. He finds himself out of his depth as she takes him on a journey more profound. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's it.
Like I said, you have Cooper Hoffman, who we've enjoyed so far, especially in The Long Walk. Olivia Wilde, who I've always liked. Daveed Diggs, who I'm there for, and we both like Mason Gooding. So you got four leads right there that I quite enjoy. It's a R-rated, I'm assuming sex drama, sex comedy. So once again, just by today's climate, Brian and I are both already going to be there for that. So yeah, that's going to be one that I'm going to be eagerly anticipating to go see. Anything else you want to add for that?
Nope.
All right, jumping into the final month, August 7th. I've got 4.
I have 4 as well. And just August, we're getting into the stuff that not everything has a whole lot of information and trailers out for yet. So some of these we are going to minimal information.
Yes, we're not going to have a whole lot. I've got Fall 2, Electric Boogaloo. I don't really. I'm gonna hope or assume that this is not the same cast, or that it's just a whole new group. Yes, looking at the cast right now, it does not look like the returning woman is back for this one. For anyone who saw the Fall, Fall. I keep saying it's just Fall. It was about two women who climbed. I don't even remember what the hell it's called. It was like a big tower.
It was this big like antenna tower, yeah.
Yeah, big antenna tower, and they got stuck up there. And it was basically a survival, movie of how they were going to get back down because they had no way to get back down, kind of thing. And apparently, they're doing a second one. Does it say what they're getting stuck on in this one?
Yeah, they're getting stuck on a fragile plank, 3,000 feet in the air in Thailand. They're trying to attempt the infamous plank walk of Mount Kwan in Thailand. So it's just people stuck on something else that's high in the air. I honestly, though, I'll see it because I liked Fall. I actually thought Fall was a fun premise.
It was fine.
I thought it turned out to be a decent movie. I didn't like a turn it took, near the end there. But I mean, I liked it enough that I'll check out another one, even it'll just be like kind of mindless fun. And this one actually is directed by the guy who did Daybreakers, among other things. So I liked it.
And Daybreakers is a movie that you and I both enjoyed.
Yes, actually, I'm sorry, 2 brothers that both directed. Yeah.
Fall. I liked it. I think more so because I knew the lead from other things. So she was like the older sister in Shazam. No one in this cast sparks for me. So I don't really know anyone in that. So that could be something that just doesn't really make me, wow for it. But I mean, I'll probably check it out at some point. I'm probably not going to check it out opening weekend, but I'll probably check out Fall 2 at some point. Next one, I saw a teaser trailer for it yesterday, and that is Ice Cream Man, which is the latest Eli Roth horror film. I am not a fan of Eli Roth's direction at all, but Thanksgiving was okay. Enough for the point that I would watch Thanksgiving 2 when it came out. This looks like Weapons with ice cream. And I don't know if I care enough to want to watch that. Do you have feelings towards this?
Well, Eli Roth is very hit and miss for me because I some movies I actually enjoy, some movies I don't. I think that when he leans into, making them not necessarily horror comedies, but it's got more fun vibe to it, like Thanksgiving, I think it works as opposed to, the torture porn kind of stuff he does. And this one, I think based on the premise alone, I think they have to be a little more lighthearted with it. So hopefully it'll be fun, but, it remains to be seen.
The other big one for me, Super Troopers 3 is coming out. Broken Lizard is back for another go with the group from Super Troopers. I mean, it's the same group as Broken Lizard. Both of us loved the first film. Did you care for the second one?
Yeah, actually, I think I liked the second one more than you did.
I thought the second one just kind of felt like a rehash of them doing the same jokes from the first movie and not nearly as good. So
It's not as good as the first one, that's for sure, but I still enjoyed it.
Because like I remember watching the second one going, this is the same fucking joke from the first movie. This is the same joke from the first movie. Are they really going to do anything new? It didn't really feel like that to me. But we were both pretty disappointed in their last film. I'm blanking on the name. Quasimodo.
Quasi.
Was it Quasi?
Quasi.
Yeah, we were both disappointed in Quasi. It was not fun or even remotely funny. It was just kind of sad in its attempt. But I did enjoy Broken Lizard's Tacoma FD, which went a few seasons. Which was mainly not the full Broken Lizard crew. Like they all kind of popped in here and there, but it was mostly Farva and blanking on the other one's name in Super Troopers. Mustache. Well, they all got mustaches. Fucking A. I'm gonna have to pull him up because I'm not gonna fucking remember his name. Steve Lemmy's character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Steve Lemmy and Farva are basically the two leads in Tacoma FD. I love that show. I thought it was great. They just got canceled, I think, last year. Super Troopers 3, it looks like Farva's gonna marry Ramathorn's sister. And so it's kind of like, I mean, I really don't even know if there's much of a cop story in this one. I'm sure there is in Super Troopers, but it feels very much more like a family comedy with the whole crew around it. The trailer looked fun. I was laughing at a few points of it. That's because I like these guys. Do I think it's going to be on the same level of the first Super Troopers movie? No. Hell, is it going to be on the same level as Club Dread, which I think is wildly underrated? Probably not. But I'm still going to be there August 7th to watch these idiots go out there and do it again. And I hope it's better than the second one. What were your thoughts on Super Troopers 3's trailer?
Like you, I'll be there opening day because I really want to like this, and I know I've liked a lot of the other stuff. I liked both the previous movies. But after Quasi, I can't be optimistic about a Broken Lizard movie. If they prove to me that was just a one-off, a stumble, and they're back to themselves, which maybe that's why they're going back to the franchise that's worked for them so far. Great. I hope it's hilarious. But after Quasi, I also know they're capable of big misses. So we'll see what happens.
I still think you should owe yourself to watch Tacoma FD.
I always intend to. I just never get around to it yet.
I think it's like 3-4 seasons, and it's like 10 half-hour episodes. Like, yeah, you can power through it. I think you'll enjoy it. You said there was one more?
One Night Only. This is one. It's basically The Purge with sex. There's in this world where premarital sex is illegal. So if you're not a married couple, sex is illegal except for one night a year. And so these two strangers scramble to find someone to sleep with.
This is not on my list anywhere.
Yeah. No, it stars Monica Barbaro, who was in Top Gun Maverick. She was just in Complete Unknown as the love interest to Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan. It's got Callum Turner in it, Bobby Cannavale, Molly Ringwald, LeVar Burton, Maya Hawke. And it's directed by Will Gluck, who you guys don't know the name, but I actually have liked. He did Easy A for Friends with Benefits. He did Fired Up, which both Sean and I love. And he just did Anyone But You as his last film. So this is a guy who I like his comedy sensibilities, and I like the cast. So I'll check it out. It's a fun concept, Purge with sex.
I had never heard of this film. Is there a trailer for it?
Not yet. There's not even a poster for it yet. They just have like a still photo as the poster on Letterboxd. I imagine we should be getting one soon, though. Probably within a month, we'll probably see a trailer for it.
It's gonna be a pain in the ass to find a picture for when we put it between us. But anyway, yeah, I never heard that. That is not on here. The only thing I thought you were gonna talk about, like Once Upon a Time in cinema, or Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Massawa. Like I thought that's what you were gonna talk about. Not this. Anyway, going to August 14th. I see 1, 2, 3, but we're really not going to talk about the third one.
14th, I have. Yeah, there's another film musical coming out, Six, the musical, which is the story of the Six Wives of Henry VIII. They're putting out a filmed version of that. So that, if you're in a musical, check it out. And then there's a new Paw Patrol movie, which we're not going to talk about. Yeah. And there's the other two. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Paw Patrol will probably make some good money. We're obviously not going to see that. Re-release, since you brought up Top Gun Maverick and Top Gun, Train to Busan is getting re-released. I strongly urge everyone who has never seen Train to Busan or loves Train to Busan to go to a theater and see this if it's available in your area, because that is a must theater experience. I wish I had saw it in theaters, but I watched it on Netflix like most people did. If I can get to it, I would definitely go watch Train to Busan in theaters. But yeah, speaking about the two main ones for August 14th, we talked about it a little bit ago. The Brink of War, which is another Angel film. This one stars Jeff Daniels and Ronald Reagan, and I'm blanking on the other dude. Shoot.
I don't know.
Of course,
I haven't even watched the trailer for this yet, so I don't know a whole lot about it. This is Jeff Daniels, Jared Harris. J.K. Simmons, Aya Cash. I know Aya Cash is in there. I love her.
I didn't see her in the trailer. If I did, I missed her. He plays who's Jared Harris plays? It's
Mikhail Gorbachev.
Gorbachev. It's basically him and Reagan sitting down and trying to come to the end of the Cold War, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a summit in Iceland. Actually, this was previously titled Reykjavik, and they retitled it.
Yeah. It's them basically coming together in a meeting to try and stop the Cold War. I know it doesn't sound super exciting. The only reason I give a shit about watching this is because I'm basically watching Jeff Daniels and Jared Harris act against each other across tables in a very dialogue-heavy movie. And for anyone who ever watched HBO's The Newsroom, Jeff Daniels is amazing at these kinds of things, and Jared Harris is just as amazing. And so it is literally just watching these two act their asses off against each other, or hopefully act their asses off against each other, as plain as these two characters trying to debate to end a war. It might not be something I will pay to go see, but it's definitely, when it comes available on digital, that I will instantly watch right away. So
I don't know anything much about this, but like you, Jeff Daniels I'll at least check it out.
There is a trailer for it. It is out. I did not see Aya Cash though. I would have gotten more excited if I saw Aya Cash. But knowing what the movie is, she's probably like there, but like not even like a real big focal point of the movie. She probably plays like one of the wives or something.
Maybe she shows up as Stormfront.
That would be awesome. That'd be fucking awesome. Or at that time, she maybe was Liberty. That's a Boys reference for anyone who doesn't understand what the heck we're talking about. But the other big movie, I don't even know if it's big right now. It's big to me. It's maybe big to Brian.
It's still big to me, damn it.
It's big to me. The End of Oak Street. This is a movie that has been on my most anticipated for 2+ years. It was called was it
Flowervale Street?
Flowervale Street. It's got Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway. There's still really not a lot to explain with this movie. There's a teaser out, but basically, the synopsis of it is their neighborhood basically gets kind of moved into like this alternate like dimension, and there's dinosaurs on the street mysteriously now, and they don't really know what happened. It's just that their neighborhood is not quite the way it used to be. And as I was saying earlier, like when I was talking about the shark movies, are finally starting to do something different. Jurassic Park, I mean, I love Jurassic Park, but God, it seems like that's the only movie that really wants to do stuff with dinosaurs. Here's a dinosaur movie. I hope the dinosaurs are an actual focal point of it, and it's not just like there's a dinosaur, and then the rest of the movie happens. But you got two actors who I love, and Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. I still don't know jack shit about this, and I kind of am happy that I don't know jack shit about this. Hopefully it's better than 65, because that was like the last dinosaur movie that I was actually amped up for that ended up just kind of being blah.
Primitive War was actually kind of fun.
I still haven't seen it yet.
And they're making a Primitive War too.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that one, so I can't really say anything about that. But yeah, this is definitely one that I am eagerly anticipating. It is not in my top 5, but it's like number 6. It's like right there. Because I can't put it in my top 5 because I still really don't know jack shit about it.
Well, that's just it. It feels like it's like one of those mystery box movies. If I didn't know better, I'd think this was the J.J. Abrams movie coming out this year. But it's not. That's a different thing coming out towards the end of the year. Because it has that J.J. Abrams feel just in the way they're keeping everything so secretive, and it's got kind of some sci-fi twist to it. And is it time travel? Is it a dimensional thing? Nobody knows what's going on.
Is it a Cloverfield movie?
Yeah, the cast alone makes it interesting. The trailer I thought was very intriguing. I thought that did a very good job of selling it. The director of this also did It Follows, which Sean hated. But He also did Under the Silver Lake, which is actually a movie that I really enjoy. It's kind of a neo-noir kind of thing. But this movie seems like it's nothing like either of those. So I don't know what to make of this. I hope it's good. It looks intriguing. We'll check it out.
Going to the 21st, I've got I've got two.
I have four. A couple of them are kind of small. One of them is titled Spa Weekend.
Yeah, I just saw this thing pop up. I have not seen anything about this.
Yeah, which is Leslie Mann, Isla Fisher, Anna Faris, three best friends as they embark on some much-needed pampering during a luxury spa break in Palm Springs. When their train wreck friend Mel turns up, the relaxation quickly descends into chaos. I'm not sure which one is the train wreck friend, so I'm not sure where it's going.
With those three, it could be either one.
Yeah. Well, there's a fourth girl, Michelle Buteau, who I don't recognize that name. Well, she's been in a few things. But yeah, this is directed by John Lucas and Scott Moore, who did like the Bad Moms movies. They did Jexy, which I enjoyed the hell out of Jexy, but not everybody does. But yeah, that's all I know about that one. No trailer or anything, so whatever. And then there is a movie called The Magic Fairway Tree, which I believe is a family film. I think this is one that's more for, I think it's an Australian film, but it has a cast assembled. It's got Andrew Garfield, Claire Foy, Rebecca Ferguson pops up in this thing, Jennifer Saunders, Judi Dench. Yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about it. A modern family relocates to a countryside where the children discover a magical tree with eccentric residents. They're transported to fantastical lands, rekindling their family bond through adventures. So yeah, this looks like one of those kind of family films that has a whole bunch of recognizable faces in it. I kind of doubt I'll check it out, honestly.
I've never even heard of this movie, so I can't really gauge anything for it.
Yeah.
The other two is we got another Insidious movie. I only ever saw the first Insidious, so
I might have seen the second one. I don't remember any of them. So
I've heard good things. Maybe this will be the reason for me to go back and watch the 5 or 6 of them before this one comes out, and see if this is even worth checking out. I thought the first one was good. Problem was that like the first Insidious movie came out like right when the first Conjuring movie came out. So it's like you had
Conjuring and Insidious and Sinister and like a whole bunch of others that all just kind of meshed together.
Well, the reason why for me was because Patrick Wilson was in both Insidious and Conjuring. It was like,
yep.
they what the fuck? You know, at least Insidious had like Rose Byrne, but she's definitely not still in this. I think they were both out of this by like the 4th one. I don't know.
I've watched the last several, so I don't know.
Like I said, I've only ever saw the first one, and it was good. It just wasn't enough for me to like go back to it. Maybe I'll go rewatch all the Insidious movies and then check out this one when it comes out in August. The only other one is Mutiny, which is Jason Statham has another movie coming out this year. He's not just doing the February movie and then be done with it. He's got another one. Didn't you say this was originally meant to be something else or a different sequel?
Yes, there was the movie Plane came out with Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
And then they heard they were going to make a sequel called Boat or Ship. I know it's Ship, I think is what it was called, which is just a fucking dumb title. But it was going to follow Mike Coulter's character from Plane as he's going to be a stowaway on this ship. And then it turned out there's this child sex trafficking ring thing going on. And he, of course, fights them off and takes over and blah, blah, blah. That movie eventually got canceled. So they just took the script, the same director, same writer. They repurposed it, said, okay, it's a Jason Statham movie now. It's not connected to Plane anymore. So that same exact, well, I'm sure they made some changes, that exact script, but the same concept of it is now this Jason Statham movie, which it's going to be your typical Jason Statham action movie. But I'm okay with that because 90% of his stuff is really fun and occasionally get one that's really good, like Beekeeper. So for me, this is just kind of a placeholder until Beekeeper 2 comes out early next year, directed by Timo Giganto. So I'm looking forward to that. But this one actually looks good too. So.
Is Statham playing Gerard Butler's character or is it a completely different character?
No, this is not connected to the first movie anymore.
Okay, so it's not like he's playing it and he's just replacing Gerard Butler.
No, because even when this was connected, it was not going to be Gerard Butler's character. It's going to be Mike Coulter's character from Plane.
Luke Cage's character.
Yeah, it's going to be his character in this movie, but it's not that character anymore. Now it's just its own movie.
Gotcha. Think that was the last thing on the.
That's all I have for that day. Yes.
Yeah. So now we go to the final week of the summer, the 28th. I got 4 movies.
I have 4 movies, 3 of which I'm actually kind of excited about.
Yeah, they're actually ending summer pretty strong. Normally,
But not any big hits, but movies I think will be good.
No, yeah. Normally, end of August, you're just like, and yeah, then like this movie comes out, we're not going to watch it. Now it's like I'm probably going to watch all 4 of these. And that is, let's get the first one out of the way. Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger comes out on the 28th. Now, I will admit, I'm probably the least excited for this one. Brian is definitely more excited than I am. But we got people that we like. Lily James, Pierce Brosnan are in this. It's not a complete reboot of Stallone's Cliffhanger. I honestly, it's been so long since I saw the trailer for this. I don't even remember what the plot is for Cliffhanger.
It's it's during a weekend trip with the billionaire's son. Seasoned mountaineer Ray Cooper and his daughter Sydney are targeted by a gang of kidnappers. His other daughter Naomi is still haunted by a past climbing accident. Witnesses attack and escapes. To save her family, she must confront her fears and fight for survival. It is not a direct remake in that they're doing the exact same story. But it's definitely kind of a reboot of it. It's a copy of it, of the basic concept of it. Lily James obviously being the star now instead of Sylvester Stallone. I love Lily James. Curious to see her in this role because I haven't seen her do. I mean, I don't know how much action there's going to be. If it's going to be more an adventure kind of flick. And Pierce Brosnan, I don't know how much he's going to be if he's kidnapped at the time. I don't know how much he'll have to do in the movie. But I also like him. So this is one I'm actually very interested in checking out.
Yeah. There's a R-rated comedy. I'll say a teaser for it because it really didn't give any inkling of what the movie was about. It's called Idiots. And it's got O'Shea Jackson Jr., it's got Mason Thames, and it's got freaking
Dave Franco, Kiernan Shipka, Nicholas Braun, Peter Dinklage, Macon Blair.
Yeah, the trailer itself is like a minute and a half, and it's just utter chaos. So I have no idea what the story is, but it's got a great cast around it. And it's an R-rated comedy. We're actually getting some decent R-rated comedies this summer. I'm kind of shocked. Is comedy?
This is another one that was big on the festival circuit, on like Sundance and everything. It was actually called The Shitheads at the time, but of course you can't. It's hard to advertise The Shitheads, so they changed the title now to Idiots. It says 2 unqualified bozos are hired to transfer a rich teen to rehab. Their straightforward gig quickly spirals into dangerous mayhem. So Mason Thames is obviously the teen. Dave Franco and O'Shea Jackson Jr. are the ones who are tasked with transporting him to rehab, and wackiness ensues. I really liked what I saw in the trailer, and it's got a lot of good reviews and stuff from the festival. So this is what I want to check out. It's directed by Macon Blair, who he's great at like dark comedy. He's the one who did, he just did Toxic Avenger. Well, he didn't just do it; just got released, but he did it like fucking 5 years ago. But he also did I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore and some other stuff. So I really like him.
Yeah. Then we also got Dog Stars, which is based on a book
from Ridley Scott. Yep.
Ridley Scott, who's been hit and miss, mostly miss lately.
More miss, yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't really help. I remember when I saw his name pop, I'm like, So I would love to be wrong and have Ridley Scott actually finally get a hit. It's got a really strong cast. You got Jacob Elordi, who he hasn't really. I mean, he was good in Frankenstein, but I mean, he's playing Frankenstein.
I'm impressed by this guy.
Yeah, I haven't really liked anything he's really done outside of that. Josh Brolin, Margaret Qualley, Guy Pearce, Benedict Wong, Allison Janney. So all actors that we like. Yeah. It looks like it's a post-apocalyptic landscape. Don't really know what caused the apocalypse. There's also got a dog, which is going to immediately attract Brian and I to it. Hopefully they don't kill the dog. I like I said, I watched the trailer. It looks like it's more of them trying to find somebody through this, chaos of this post-apocalyptic world. At one point, it looked like there was like almost like Mad Max people like attacking them on a plane. Like I said, it was intriguing enough to make me go, okay. So not that I want to check it out, but still not give enough away to the point where I know 100% what the hell's going on with this movie. But it is a book, so pretty sure you can pretty much find out right away what the hell this movie is about. Actually, I think I got a synopsis right here. The end of the world was just the beginning. Set in Colorado after the world's population has been ravaged by a pandemic, A man lives a lonesome existence in an airplane hangar with his dog and a door gunman that he has befriended. When a mysterious transmission comes through on the radio while he is flying his old Cessna, which I'm assuming is his plane, it sparks a hunt for the provenance of the sound. So, yeah. Like I said, trailer looked good, but it's Ridley Scott, so tread lightly. I never thought I'd have to say that, but like I said, it's Ridley Scott, and he has not really done a lot of great things lately. Anything you want to add for that?
No, it's Ridley Scott. I will reserve judgment until I see it because he's so hit and miss, but it's got a strong cast, so worth checking.
Yes. And the last movie that we're going to talk about is a movie that has had a journey through the movie Crusaders for the past 2-3 years now. Finally getting released. Finally saw the first trailer this week, so it's real. It's actually happening. And that's Coyote versus Acme. This journey that this movie has gone through, I think this is the only other movie outside of Masters of the Universe that I so am rooting for to succeed. I want this movie to do so fucking well. I want it to give the biggest middle finger to Warner Brothers, which of course, by giving the middle finger to Warner Brothers, is them making money and making Warner Brothers look good, which is a double-edged sword. This movie was made and then shelved and canceled for tax purposes, and then everyone went to battle for this film and said, no, this movie deserves to be released. It's got positive feedback from screenings. The cast, everyone's like, you better get this movie out. And it finally is coming out. For anyone who was a fan of Who Framed Roger Rabbit or lately Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie, where you're adding live action with animated, this is going to be that movie for you. I thought we were going to kind of keep it in obviously we never saw anything for it. So this trailer gave me more than what I thought I was going to get. I thought it was strictly just going to be like Road Runner and Coyote. I did not realize it was going to be a whole Looney Tunes like thing. I didn't know that. But it's got Will Forte, who I love, but I don't love him in a lot of things he does, but I love him as a performer. You got John Cena. And you got basically this entire cast of the Looney Tunes characters, basically as Coyote is suing Acme for all the bullshit stuff that he's bought from them because it never works, because he's never ever able to catch Roadrunner. It looks charming. It looks funny. And I can't help but be utterly excited for this movie to come out. Brian, I'm hoping is just as excited because, like I said, we've gone on this journey with this movie for a while. We have demanded that this movie get released. We were hoping at one point when we didn't think it was going to get released that someone would pull a Ryan Reynolds and just steal it and release it on YouTube or something, just so that the world could see this movie. And we are finally going to see it, and it's going to be the last movie of the summer. Brian, your thoughts?
Yeah, I know we've been waiting for this one forever, and then we found out it finally got saved, and we were still waiting for a release date. Then they finally announced one, and then now we have a trailer. I'm excited for it. I think it looks like fun. I love the concept of it. Wile E. Coyote was always one of my two favorite Looney Tunes characters. Like you, I didn't think I realized they were going to have so many other characters in it, although I think they're going to be basically cameos for the most part.
Yeah.
But what gets me is the live action interaction, because Will Forte, I love his comedy. It just works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, and I understand that because it's very bizarre comedy that he likes to do. But it works for me completely. I think he's perfect to put in this world. And then John Cena as kind of the I don't know what villain, like the antagonist. John Cena is another one who I think he's found his niche, which is, when he's doing comedy, I think he does a great job. And especially when he's trying to play like the villain or the straight man kind of in this world, I think it's going to work real well. So I'm looking forward to this. I do have 3 other movies just to put on people's radars because they have unconfirmed dates on them. All streaming movies. On Disney Plus, there's another Descendants movie coming out. We don't care about it, but it's supposed to come in sometime this summer. Enola Holmes 3 is supposed to come out this summer. I saw one place listed July 1st, but that's not confirmed. I don't think I ever watched part 2. But
I did. They're both solid. Second one's not as strong as the first one. I thought that was going to get more like a September release.
Yeah, well, like I said, nothing's confirmed. Everything I saw said mid-summer or mid 2026, and one place said July 1st, but I don't know if that's true or not, or if that was just a placeholder. And then another one which listed as August ? Netflix's Adventures of Cliff Booth, which is of course the written by Quentin Tarantino, directed by David Fincher, continuing Brad Pitt's character from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Again, it says expected in August, but it's Netflix, so we won't even know until July, maybe, if it is actually coming out.
I feel like that's totally going to be September, October.
It feels like a fall film. That's why when I saw it, I was surprised. But a couple different places said it's expected in August, so I don't know.
Yeah, trust me. If we knew that was coming out, we definitely would have been talking about that further. Because that trailer was wacky. Like when I was like, I don't know what the hell this movie's going to be.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead to what our most anticipated movies are of the summer. Of everything that we talked about, which we talked about a lot of movies, what would you say are your 5 most anticipated films in the summer for you?
All right, my 5 most anticipated, not necessarily in any order. I'm not going to try and rank these. The Furious, I would put out number 1 if I was ranking them. I've already seen this movie, as you already know. But I can't wait not only to be able to see it again, but I want other people to see it, because it's one of those movies. Like the first time I watched Night Comes for Us, the first time I watched Terrifier 2, I'm like, I want to show this to everyone I know, because I wanted to almost watch their reaction, because it was so much fun to watch this thing. The action is insane, especially the entire last act, especially the last half hour, which is basically one fight. It's so much fun. If you get a chance to see this, and go see that if you're near you. Another one, Adventure Clip Booth, like you said, I put on there, but it's kind of with an asterisk. We're not sure it's coming out, so I'm not sure if I'd put that on my list. Disclosure Day has crept into probably my number 5 spot, honestly.
Really?
Because it is Spielberg, and I'm always intrigued in anything Spielberg does. I like the cast, and this last trailer made me like, you know what, maybe, I'm not super duper excited about it, but on the list of stuff coming out this summer, it sneaks in that number 5 slot. The Odyssey, which is obviously going to be huge and epic. I have no reason to doubt anyone involved in this. Everything I've seen about it looks phenomenal. Like I said, the only thing that dampens my enthusiasm for it is some of the Nolan freaks who are just too obsessed with it and praise him too much. And then for me, the last one, not the last one, but my last one on the list, Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Like you, been waiting to see Tom Holland come back. Curious to see where they take the story now that it's kind of, at least temporarily, kind of disconnected from the mass MCU story. So I'm really looking forward to that one. What do you got?
Quick little honorable mentions. They just missed End of Oak Street. I don't want to know more, but I also need to know more in order to get more excited for it. So it's like, it's right there. It's just not going to break my top 5. Mortal Kombat 2.
That's not a mention for me. Yeah,
it's like, it's right there. It's right fucking there, but just not enough to get into the top 5. And then Toy Story.
Give my other honorable mention. I want to hear if you give my other one too. Go ahead.
What's that?
I want to see if you have my other honorable mention on there too.
The Furious would be on there if I knew 100% I was going to get it. The Furious would be in my top 5.
Well, you'll be able to see it this summer, maybe just not in theaters, because I'm sure by
I'm
end of July,
like,
probably be on.
I'm talking about, am I going to get to see it? Was it June 12th? I don't know if I will. So it depends on, if I don't get it there, then it could be August by the time I get to see it, however long it takes for it to actually get released on digital. So I don't want to put it on there because I actually don't know if I'll get to see it this summer. And then Toy Story 5 it's still Toy Story, but it's not in my top 5, but it is right there for me. What did you think I was going to say?
Well, my other honorable mention, Remasters of the Universe, because if they get
that
this
is
right,
in my top 5.
It could be fun. Good. Glad to hear.
Yes, it is in my top 5. Masters of the Universe, like I said, Masters of the Universe and Coyote vs. Acme are 2 of my most anticipated, because they're the 2 that I am rooting for the most to have a fantastic summer. There are the other movies that I'm anticipated for. I know they're going to make their money. I know they're going to make a buttload of money. These are the 2 that I am going to be rooting for them, like the number 16 seed in the NCAA tournament. I want them to succeed. I want them to win, and I want them to have a fantastic summer. So those 2 are eagerly on my most anticipated. They're right there at like number 3 and 4 for me if I was ranking them. Mandalorian Grogu, that's like number 5 for me. It's a Star Wars film. Duh. It's Mandalorian Grogu. I love the show. So duh, I'm excited to see those guys, because it's been about 3 years or so since I've seen them on screen together. So I'm excited for that one. And then obviously the last 2 are the ones that you already said, which is The Odyssey and Spider-Man: Brand New Day. What's there more to say that we haven't already said? Those are the 2 biggest films of the summer in my eyes, and naturally the 2 most anticipated that I am for that. So those are our most anticipated films of the summer. Now for the box office predictions. How do we want to do this? Are we both going to go like 10-5, or do you want to give your whole 10, or how do we want to break this down?
Let's go 10-5, 10-5, and then we'll do that.
Okay. What is your 10-5?
My
Do you have honorable mentions that are just going to miss, or do you just have 10-5?
I have just a couple honorable mentions. I think that Supergirl is just missing the cut for me. I think that it depends on the quality of the movie, obviously, but I also think that like not the entire audience for Superman will turn out for Supergirl. But at the same time, people that maybe didn't rush to Superman, like now maybe have seen it since then and were like, hey, I like this new James Gunn universe, and maybe even saw her character and liked it. We'll go see it. But I don't think it's going to make the top 10. Mortal Kombat 2, I think that one could sneak in there. I mean, that one was the last one was very successful, and that was when it was dropped on HBO Max the same day, and it still made a good amount of money. So that one could make some money, but I don't think it's going to make the top 10. And then Evil Dead Burn is another one. That's another one because horror movies obviously are some of the few movies that kind of still make a lot of money, get a lot of people actually get up and go out to the theater. But there are so many big blockbusters and family films coming out this summer. I think that it's not going to make it in the top 10. Those are my honorable.
So your three honorable mentions was Mortal Kombat, Evil Dead Burn, and
Supergirl. Yes.
I had five. I had like the last five out kind of thing.
Okay.
And it was Masters of the Universe, Mortal Kombat 2, Coyote versus Acme, The End of Oak Street, and then Evil Dead Burn. That was like my 11 through 15 that are just going to miss the top 10. Okay. So go ahead and go with your 10-5.
At 10, I have Masters of the Universe. This is like we've said, I think that this is one that depends greatly on, if audiences will turn out for it. I feel like anybody who goes to see it is going to like it. It's the Travis Knight of it all, and the trailers have been impressive. I think it will be good. I think it will make some money. How much money it makes depends on how much I think kids are able to embrace it, because I think the nostalgia audience is not going to be enough to fuel this. I think it needs to get the younger audience to make it actually really make some money. Number 9, I have Scary Movie 6, or I think it's just called Scary Movie, but whatever it is. This is the one that I think is kind of maybe the sleeper hit for me of the summer. Again, if it sucks, then I'll bet you at the table. If I see it, I'll be like, it's not going to make the top 10. But if it can recapture the fun of like the first Scary Movie, and the fact that it is kind of pairing all these newer movies that people, I think this is what they should do. Scary Movie is like keep doing scary movies, but they need to wait like 5-10 years between them. Let new things pop up, new not subgenres and new kind of twists and turns in the horror genre. So I think this one, the trailers have actually gotten great response from most people. Like in theaters, and I've seen it, people are laughing. So I think this one could be a big hit. Number 8, I have Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg, but I think that there's too many other ones that are way bigger than that, but it'll still do well. And at 7, I have Mandalorian and Grogu, which that's a big question mark. That movie could end up making a ton of money, and it could be a flop. But I'm going to put it at number 7 for now. Number 6, I have Devil Wears Prada 2, which in many years, I put this even higher on the list because I think it's going to make a big amount of money. It's going to catch an audience that doesn't normally get catered too much. But again, there's just too many blockbusters above it. And then at number, that's all.
Oh yeah, stop 6. Yeah. Stop 6. You want to know what's fucking hilarious?
What's that?
We have almost 100% identical. But where you have Masters of the Universe at 10, I have it at 11.
Okay.
I've got Supergirl at 8.
Okay.
So it's like Masters of the Universe 11, Scary Movie 10, Disclosure Day 9, Supergirl 8, Mando and Grogu at 7, Devil Wears Prada at 6. We literally are like one off of each one because I've got Supergirl.
And our top 5 are going to be the same. It's just a matter of the order.
Yes, exactly. So it's like you're going. I'm like, there's no way he's going to give this exact. I was like, he fucking gave the exact order. Like literally, the wild card of this is Supergirl.
Yeah, it really is.
Where Supergirl lands is going to depend on where me and Brian are going to land on.
I think Supergirl and Masters of the Universe both, I think, are like these question marks. They could go either way,
Yeah. Oh man. Let's put it this way. I would love it if Masters of the Universe ended up being 6, and we were both wrong about Devil Wears Prada, and it ended up at 11 or 10.
I mean, I don't want Devil Wears Prada to do badly. I think that there's definitely an audience for it, but it's like,
No,
but I
but
do
I would
want
be
to see
so
the other
much
one
more
succeed,
happier.
though. Yes.
I'd be so much more happier if Masters of the Universe was
Yeah.
above them all. Let's go one by one. What's your 5?
At 5, these top 5 were so hard to rate for me.
It is. This. Let's put it this way: 1 through 5 is going to be separated. Let's put it this way: 1 through 5 are all going to make over $1 billion. I think all of them are easily making over $1 billion this year, which is insane. That 1 through 5 will make over $1 billion each. So we're talking between. I think number 1 can get close to $2 billion. I personally think number 1 can get close to $2 billion.
I think 1 and 2 can get close to $2 billion.
Yeah, so it's going to be so like we're talking about like hundreds of millions of dollars away from each other. But once you hit that billion mark, it is like this.
Yeah.
So what is your number 5?
At 5, I put the live action Moana.
Okay.
Because I think Moana obviously was huge, and like if you look at like the streaming charts, it's like still shows up on there as one of the most watched movies, even years and years, 10 years later at this point. But it doesn't look like it's quite as good as the animated one, but it's a family audience. It's a story people love, so it's going to make a shitload of money.
My number 5 is Minions and Monsters.
Okay, that's my number 4. I'll tell you right now.
And Moana's my number 4. So we're so fucking close. So I'm hoping that the Minions train is starting to slow, and it will end up at 5, which is still, like I said, over $1 billion. We're saying, which is still very good, but maybe it'll start to teeter down a little bit. Moana, all the same reasons that you said. I think it will do amazing, but because of people kind of going on it, it's not going to be Lilo and Stitch, which was right up there at the very fucking top, which is why I have it at 4. I think it will, because it's Moana, it will jump over Minions and Monsters, which means that our top 3, I think I know what your 3 is. I think we're gonna flip again. What's your 3?
3, I have Odyssey.
3, I also have Odyssey.
Yeah, because Odyssey is going to be huge, because obviously Christopher Nolan, people turn out for it. Like I said, people that don't normally turn out for other movies, or maybe the kind of people that go to the movies once a year, twice a year, I think they're the kind of people that will turn out for this like they did for Oppenheimer. But then it also still has, unlike Oppenheimer, it also has a big adventure action angle to it, which can help make even more money. So this could be huge, but it's definitely going to be top. It'll definitely be top 5. I think it's going to be number 3, just because the other 2 are going to make even more.
I think Odyssey is going to be number 3 because it's not going to have the children aspect of it. So adults are going to want to go see this movie. What's going to keep it out of the top 2 is that it's not going to have Barbie like Oppenheimer did, where it's not going to have that duo movie to like tag team with it, which, not that Odyssey needs that, but like the last Nolan movie, guys, if you guys think that Oppenheimer made all that money because it's just Oppenheimer, no, it made that movie because of Barbieheimer. And Odyssey should be better than Oppenheimer in terms of just enjoyability, because Oppenheimer was very, very dry. It was a fantastic film. It was very, very dry. No one wanted to spend that much money to go see Oppenheimer unless they were like, we're doing the Barbieheimer thing.
Well, I think Oppenheimer would have made a shitload of money. I think it was a very successful movie.
It wouldn't have made nearly as much, though.
But it got an extra bump from the whole meme of it.
Yeah. Which is why, to me, Odyssey will be at 3, which is still amazing, instead of being like 2 or 1, because it's not going to have that lead-in movie. I think, that comedy, Cut It Off, which is maybe not even get released in theaters. Odyssey's just going to be on its own. It's still going to make a fuckload of money, but like I say, it's going to be at the number 3 spot. Does that mean we're going to have 1 and 2 be the exact same?
Well, it's a matter of order. So the 2 movies remaining, if you haven't keep a track, are Toy Story 5 and Spider-Man: Brand New Day. So which one did you put at number 2?
Toy Story 5.
Oh, I got them flipped.
So you have Toy Story 5 at number 1.
I have Toy Story 5 at number 1.
I think Toy Story 5 is still Toy Story, and it's Pixar. Pixar doesn't have as strong a name as it once did, but Toy Story still does. You can say what you want about Toy Story, it's still going to make a shitload of money. But because it is the 5th one, and no one's really asking for a 5th one, it's not going to make the money that is going to give the top tier spot. It's still going to make a fuck ton. And I'm hoping that it's going to make that shit ton because the movie's still going to be great. But you're still going to have those people who were like Brian and a lot of people when the fourth one came out going, we don't need a fourth one. That's going to keep them from going and seeing it. And it's going to have to be more like a, no, seriously, it's actually really fucking good, which is what I tried to do with Brian last year with Inside Out 2, and he still didn't fucking go see it. And that's why I think it's going to be at 2 instead of the 1 spot, which is going to be Spider-Man Brand New Day, because like you said, it's been 5 years since we've had Spider-Man. Everyone, I don't want to say everyone, because there's always like 10% of people out there who are just jackasses. Everyone loves Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Everyone loves the stories they've been telling. Everyone's been wanting a more grounded Spider-Man that wasn't like this end of the world type story aspect, kind of like what Daredevil and them are doing, which is what we're going to get here. They love this cast. They've grown with this cast. I mean, hell, the first Spider-Man movie was what, 2017, 2018, if we're not counting Civil War. So
yeah.
So I mean, this is the longest Spider-Man we've ever had. We literally have watched Tom Holland, Zendaya, and oh god, I'm blanking on. We've been watching them grow with these characters and in this world, and I think, and also this is probably the most excited MCU movie that's come out probably since No Way Home. So people are going to see this movie, and they're going to come out in droves. And I think this is the one that's just going to miss $2 billion, because Doomsday is going to hit $2 billion at the end of the year. And it's going to lead into that, even though I've heard rumors that Spider-Man's not even going to be in Doomsday, or he's not going to know who Doomsday is.
My understanding is this is from, of course, unconfirmed reports, are that he and the characters like Bruce Banner, who's in this movie, are not in Doomsday, but will be in Secret Wars.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, we got Punisher in this. We got Incredible Hulk in this. We've got, it looks like looks like they could potentially be building up to a Sinister Six in this. Everything about this looks like it's going to be fucking awesome. And like I said, Tom Holland Spider-Man sells. Zendaya sells. Like, a lot of people don't like to look at Zendaya. Like, she's killing it box office wise. And then once you add the MCU,
and she's going to be in 3 of like that. She's in Brand New Day, Odyssey, and Dune 3 all coming out this year.
She's going to have, if she's like how Robert Downey was with Avengers, where he's like, I want a percentage of the box office. If she managed to pull that off, Zendaya could literally not work a single day for the rest of her life and just still, be ungodly happy with everything. Same thing with Tom. But yeah, I think Spider-Man is finally going to break MCU is still Disney, but it's going to break the MCU is going to be the number 1 movie of the summer, where it's been kind of like in like the top 3. I think it's going to be number 1.
I feel like these 2 are the lock for the top 2 movies. I struggled over which order I wanted to put them in. Spider-Man, you can never bet against Spider-Man. Every Spider-Man movie makes a shitload of money. Last one, obviously, No Way Home made a huge amount of money. This one does not have the the appeal of the multiverse. We get the other 2 Spider-Man back kind of thing. So I don't think it'll be quite as big as the last film. And I also think that the fact that the MCU has had such a weak time since Spider-Man No Way Home, that people's opinion of it, especially the general public, not the hardcore fans like us, I think are kind of like, MCU. But it's still going to make a shitload of money. But then it's really hard to say. I honestly think that they should have put this out between Doomsday and Secret Wars, because I think it would have been even more successful than whatever it makes this summer. I think it would have made more if they put it out next summer between the 2 movies, because I think that if people's faith will be restored in the MCU, and then then more people would turn out to see this movie. Kind of like when they had Captain Marvel turned to be $1 billion movie, which I don't think it would have been had it not been released between the 2, Infinity War and Endgame. So, but then Toy Story, again, it's one I underestimated the last one. The last one, I was like, it'll make some money, but it won't be. It was just through the roof, and that was for what I thought was the weakest one of the franchise. So I can't underestimate Toy Story 5. So I think it'll be number 1, just because there are so many parents that you're looking for things for their kids to go do during the summer, and that's, I think, going to be their biggest choice for them.
It is going to be so hard decide the winner this year for us because we're so like everything is just like here.
Yeah.
Supergirl.
It's like we have tiers.
Card.
Like these are the top 2 movies. These are definitely the next 3 movies. And it's like, but we don't know what order they're all in. So.
Literally, Supergirl is the wild card. If Supergirl delivers, I'm gonna potentially win. If Supergirl underdelivers, Brian's gonna win because that's literally the wild card. That's the only movie, and because Masters Universe is right at 11 for me, and you have it at 10. Supergirl is literally the one movie, and I think you have Supergirl at like 11, don't you?
Yes.
Would that be? Yeah. So it's like, oh man, we've never been this close. Usually we'll have like I have it at 3 and you have it at 7. It's never been like bam, 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 bam. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun to decide this one this year. But what are your guys' thoughts? What are you excited for? Are you excited for these same movies as we are? Is there something that we mentioned that you're more excited about than we are? It better not be fucking Minions and Monsters. Let us know in the comments below. And we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, hit that like, share, and subscribe button to the channel so you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos pop up on the Movie Crusaders. Of course, don't forget to follow us on all the social media outlets you see below. If you can't watch us, listen to us on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. Just look for Movie Crusaders and we will pop right up, since we are now broadening our channel out to there as well. So you can listen to us in podcast form instead of on YouTube video if you choose to do so. Coming up next, it's the summer. We're going to have movies to talk about now. As early as, I don't think we're talking about anything on May 1st, are we?
Unlikely.
Yeah. We'll probably still have stuff. We are talking about, like I said, we're still talking about cinemasochism. We're talking about potentially a new show that I just came up with that we might be bringing back. Obviously, decades of is something that we're probably still going to come back and do again. We got to narrow that one down. Like I said, I'm getting ready to in the process of going through a move, so we're kind of like in a wait and see. Once I do move, I do see us probably putting out a lot more content.
I think so. Yeah.
So I expect us to be getting a lot more stuff coming out. So wait till June, guys. You guys will probably be seeing us a lot more because my schedule will be a little more easier to a point and a lot more available to Brian, so that way we can actually do some more fun things. So we hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully this summer is as fun as we think it's going to be. And if you guys aren't big box office people, this is the summer to fucking pay attention to the box office. I think this is going to be a fun box office race to all the way from May to August to see how it is. And we hope you guys go on that journey with us. We are the Movie Crusaders. I'm Sean Waskrug. That is Brian Michaels. And until next time, in case we don't see you, go watch some movies. Go have some fun.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.